didn't even forget about
I'm telling you, man, like, when Brenda was sitting there, and when I tapped her on the shoulder, she, like, jumped out of her skin, dude. And I'm like, did you forget I was here? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm just trying to help you read your feet.
It's called immersion.
Yeah.
Actually,
you know?
I forgot to do that.
So that was hilarious. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
I was like, so that's how it's gonna be.
That's what's gonna be. We're gonna go to this village, all right? I don't care how it's
Like, damn it, Brenda, quit eating all the chicken nuggets.
I know you want to go save the baby in the forest, but that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Not a good idea.
This is creepy and all badness with fog and pathways that are mysteriously not covered by the fog.
Mysteriously. Mysteriously. Yeah, I don't know how that kind of stuff happens. It's almost like it's by design.
Yeah, whatever.
Every movie
I'd like to
ever.
point out that I guessed actually from the very beginning that we were dead the whole time.
There we go, by the way.
I still think we are.
Yeah.
I had to do some...
I just wasn't sure where we were while we were dead. I was like, I don't know where we are. So the Shadowfell was a nice little twist. I was like, I thought for sure we were in Limbo. Because for me, you were like, you look like as though you'd been in a big fight. And I was like, well, we all did go to sleep after fighting Duelet, so maybe we didn't win. I didn't assume we were murdered in our sleep by conniving Kenku, but I did. You never trust the Kenku. Okay? Never trust the Tabaxi. Never trust the Kenku.
All I saw was this emu dancing over our grave.
Jazz hands, like just kicking its legs out like a line dance.
Running around with that Gur voice, you know.
Yeah.
Why you gotta bring that into life, Pop? Swoles? Why you gotta bring that into life?
Next sleeping bag.
He's reminding me that I'm dead.
You're dead?
Minecraft. I died in Minecraft. I drowned the ocean, man. Took me by my hand.
Minecraft.
That's what
Yeah.
I was playing yesterday.
You know,
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like watching someone mow the lawn.
In 4K.
I mean,
It's 4K for you.
It looks 4K on the
Your
stream.
axe looked like a hammer.
That's fine. It's a detailed hammer.
I mean, I usually set the resolution way down to make it feel classic.
Yeah, I turned
Make
it
it
way
feel
up.
like it's like 32-bit.
Yeah.
put the render distance
Is
as
it-
short as
Oh,
you can.
Resolution? Nah,
The-
we're talking like 120.
I know
Dude, the
you're talking about
textures, they were so high. Like, yeah, it's on blocks, but the texture is so high.
Yeah, dude, you can see every little piece of dirt in that block. All right,
Oh my god.
it's details.
Detailed blocks.
I think that's one of the reasons why I could never play Minecraft and never will, is because if I want that experience, I could just turn on the first Wolfenstein, and then, like, it's the same difference. Except Wolfenstein was limited by its technology, not by lazy people.
Does Wolfenstein have a designer mode? Can you build a computer
You know what?
inside Wolfenstein?
I bet you it does now.
Does
I
it
know in the
Does-
revamped versions of Doom, you can build your Doom maps.
Oh, really?
You can.
Which is cool.
They have an engine in there, so you can build classic Doom maps in Doom 2, I think.
Yeah, do too.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'll never play Minecraft, because they're lazy.
Ooh.
Boom.
This looks like this because we're targeting 12-year-olds.
Well, it was developed by an indie developer, and then they didn't want to move away from what had originally captivated millions.
Yeah.
It's called Profit.
Yeah,
That's what captivated millions.
Millions.
Like, look at profit's a slippery slope. First, you're a developer making fucking Minecraft, and then you're fucking EA the next day. It's like,
Well, the guy who made it sold it off, made a pretty penny.
Oh,
Pretty penny.
Yeah.
So he got out while the getting out was good. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's right on the top of the hype train. And he's like, sold. Microsoft, you got it, bro.
just like player unknown.
Separate
Oh
life.
my god.
And then it somehow made a resurgence.
He's like, this mod of a successful mod based on somebody else's game. Yeah, I'm gonna sell this.
Sell this so hard.
It's so hard.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
But, yeah, brilliant. But you know, it is what it is. Everybody has their own games that they like playing, but it's fucking Minecraft is not where it's at for me. It never will be. Sorry, not sorry. Oh man. But
Bring back to the point, you have some live streamers over here. that were playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
live stream.
Yeah,
I was
they
pretty-
live
I was-
stream.
I was
6
pretty-
a.m. was
they
the
actually
over.
they
I
actually
apologize.
didn't play yesterday.
Unfortunately,
Oh, yeah,
we
they
didn't
No,
play
they didn't play yesterday, which is fine. These things happen. It's from time to time.
Yeah, I
But
would
next
buy it,
week,
Actually,
they're gonna figure it out. We actually ran into a couple of technical difficulties that were
We did.
unforeseen by the meta mic over here.
Which I'm very happy. I'm kind of glad we didn't stream because it's a slight pain in the butt, but I've got it fixed and it's super easy. So now that I have it done, we're done. And we actually have a plan for next Thursday.
Yeah, and it also seems like our bandwidth is doing a little better.
Yeah.
I tested it yesterday, and it was pretty.
I'm gonna double check on our. plan
I called Charter yesterday.
You told them what's up. You laid down the law.
No, they told me what was up, and they said that we have some work going on in certain areas, but you guys should be unaffected by the services. And I was like, okay, well, can you reset our side of the thing? And they're like, okay.
Right
And
on.
then apparently it worked a little better after that, but we should have been unaffected.
Yeah, I don't get why these guys go to
Like,
college.
why lie? Just reset the damn thing and say we're sorry.
Why do they go to college for all these IT degrees and stuff when you just turn it on and off again?
Yeah, I know, right? That's how I fixed my laptop earlier today.
What's the main fix for any IT job?
He should know. He works IT.
I did it today like 3 times.
You can tell with the glasses.
Well, they're they're plastic with a glass in them.
I actually went through a grueling ritual of uninstalling and reinstalling the printer and all of its drivers because apparently the printer wasn't on the network.
Printers are the devil.
How many animals did you have to sacrifice for that one?
At least one.
I'm no comment. No comment.
My client does not need to answer that at this time.
You're out of order, sir.
I am not an extremely popular streamer, so I cannot get away with animal cruelty on stream.
Love for the animals.
I have an objection for my other clients. You're leading
Overruled.
You're leading the conversation.
I am trying to do what they call a pivot. And I don't know if that's the legal term for it. Or distraction. That's how the government handles it.
We just acquire stuff. It's just like, oh, that. I've acquired it. But that's mine.
We misplaced
I acquired
money.
it. It's mine now.
Look at Area 51.
Meanwhile, in Ohio, a
was.
secret
Yeah.
military operation combined with Project Blue Door.
Yeah. We have no accountability or control of all these black sites and all these operations that happen off the books. And there's nothing we can do about it, and now we are too afraid to say something. Look over here!
The black
Shiny
sites
stuff.
will crush us. If we try and come down on the black sites, they're going to crush us. They got
Free
alien
health
technology now. It's out of control. We created our own monster. It'll lead to our destruction one day.
Yeah, well,
Trust me.
it led to Gilbert Godfrey trying to give free college to everybody, is what it led to. So,
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Sorry. It's funny. That's how I imagine that man now. I can never hear his voice the normal way again.
I'm confused.
Throughout the debates, that's all I hear is Gilbert Godfrey yelling at people on stage. It's hilarious. But, on to more important things. We have Dungeons & Dragons to play. We have stuff to do. And, yeah. I'm ready to play.
Yeah, let's do that.
For the most part. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the most enthused group of individuals I've ever seen. Mike's over there playing with the dog, I think.
With his
Bork,
foot.
bork.
Bork?
Bark?
Bark, bark.
Bork, bork. So, we're just going to run the intro. We're going to come back and play.
I'm
Our
sure they
stream
do.
should always wonder what we're talking about. I'm going to give you a hint.
Oh.
It's amazing. Every time we turn off the lights,
Yeah.
Time.
we're just
Yeah.
awesome people, and none of you get to see any of it.
Best kept secret.
Best kept. Yeah, not really. I just told you it was awesome.
Best kept thing you're aware of, but are not privy to.
Yeah, you just gotta take our word for it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like
We'll
aliens
figure
in
out.
Area
We'll figure
51.
out. Believe me, we'll figure out a way to like monetize some hot mic stuff behind the scenes. We'll figure it out. Look at you, Malachi.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a thin line between monetization and criminalization.
Listen, dude, it's surprise mechanics.
You never know what conversation audio you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. It could be completely irrelevant, but whatever. You're gonna get it.
Mhm.
You're getting something, so therefore it's not gambling, according to these game companies.
Surprise.
Surprise me.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So all these slot machine companies need to do, like Vegas and everything, to get around being regulated as gambling. All they need to do is give you a receipt that says thanks for trying, and technically you're winning something
Well, and
every
maybe
time you
it's
put
local
money
pay.
in. So it's not gambling anymore. You got something out of it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
need
I
to
mean-
get achievements every time you lose.
It's
you know?
now
Yeah.
they're loot machines. They're not slot machines.
Yeah.
Like there we go. That's
Just a little slip of paper with some advice, you know.
yeah,
Invest in
like
property
a fortune
early.
cookie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't waste your money here. And you're just like,
You should really leave. No,
There'd be a
don't you-
lot
you're not
of
boss
broken
me.
surprise mechanic machines inside the buildings.
You should put
Reverse
10% of
psychology.
earnings in savings.
You might have an addiction.
Yeah.
You take him to court over your surprise mechanics addiction. It's like, listen, the machine told you.
Yeah. The machine explained that this was bad, but you kept putting money in.
You kept putting money in it.
I really want to lose a slot machine game and have it be like achievement unlocked, longest losing streak in casino. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I know, right?
Oh my god, I'm
There-
still
there-
a winner.
Yeah, there is actually a
5%
ratio of
discount
winning to
in the
losing
coffee
that they
shop.
have to maintain by like law. So they can't just steal, just shut them all down. It's like, we're behind. Let's just shut all the winning down.
They can tighten them up pretty close though.
Yeah.
The regulations are pretty. They can be way worse than they are. But that's what keeps casinos, unlike video game developers, honest, is because they have to compete with one another's slot machines. That's
Yeah.
what they're
As
advertising
honest
when they
as a
say
casino
lose
can
slots.
be.
Is they're saying like we have a higher win rate than the next guy.
Funny little
Yeah.
story. I was in the car with my mom. I was a child with a disability and poor reading skills. And we have big billboards all around the casinos, and one of them was like, casino, insert name here, it doesn't really matter. And it's, we have, and it spelled out, and I didn't know how to read, and I thought it said loser slots. And I was like, Mom, why are they advertising that they have loser slots? That seems like the worst marketing idea ever. And she's like, what are you talking about? But look, it says loser. And she's like, no, it says looser, like a purse that's very loose and stuff falls out of it. And I was like, oh. One of those things you experience as a kid. You know,
And it still hasn't changed. Like he still says loser.
that's happened
So,
a couple times.
you know. But that's how
Bye-bye.
thin that argument
back,
is that
dudes.
they're making right now to Congress. It's not gambling because you get something, you know. But there was strife for it because Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft all got together and decided that from now on, everybody who publishes with their companies has to post the rates, the drop rates on loot boxes. Starting in 2020
Yay!
is gonna be happening. So I think they're
I
trying
was
to
applauding
they're trying to self-regulate
progress.
before the government makes them do it. So that's a smart idea, you know.
What's the good news, dude?
So you tell me we don't need people like Angry Joe out there, other guys doing the actual math and then getting like really pissed off.
Yeah, yeah. When they find out the drop rate's like less than 1%. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
As a gamer, especially playing like loot games like Diablo and stuff, I can tell you there's plenty of communities out there, and that's all they do is math because that's fun for them. I don't know what they're on or what's going on with them, why they love it so much, but like they're like, yeah, this is the ratio, this percent, 0.00 whatever percent on X runs. In order to farm it, you have to do X amount of runs per day, and you should find it within this many. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can also find some stuff like that on a lot of
Ridiculous.
other. Yeah, it's just people like recording their experiences, compiling them to get an average, and then that's what they use to kind of deduce what the going ratio is.
And congratulations on your new job, Tibbs.
Go Tibbs.
Go Tibbs.
Yeah, speaking of running games and doing math.
We got a resident smart man in our house called Tibbs.
Yeah.
Who works now for a giant evil corporation.
Corporation. Now you'll know the truth, but the problem is you'll have to lie about it.
Yeah, exactly. I know how it works on the inside, but now I can't tell you.
This is a sweet job. It's not worth it.
You used to be so excited and inspired. You had your whole future ahead of you. Now you're all jaded and depressing. What happened? I know the truth now. I know the truth.
Damn NDAs.
Also rich.
Badass. He's a level 3 game tester and level design.
Level 3. Do you level up? So
That'd
you've
be
tested
rad.
this many games and you're like, I'm level 5 now. Give me a raise. It's like, Jim over there with the shiny office mug.
Gotta fight the fucking boss.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
level
does your office?
dungeon or whatever.
Does your
That'd
office?
be the best job ever. That's how I would run a business.
Yeah. Is your office equipment color coded so you got like a little green?
I just
mug?
make them play. I just make them play Mike at a game of like Magic the Gathering. When they get, I'm like, you want a raise? You gotta beat Mike. That's the rules. You sign the agreement.
So wait, I don't understand. So he doesn't get to play the tutorial or the first and the second level?
No, he's too smart for that.
So he only has to play the third level.
Yeah.
no.
It's funny, Andy, like that hits real home, because like I've been playing Magic like on Wednesdays, and I was playing with all my buddies, and we were like, so they were like talking like, fucking hey, Mike, we need to beat you, and I'm like, what do you mean? We've been playing for 3 months, so you guys have beat me. No, we haven't. I was like,
On the computer?
in person.
In
It's
person?
the same difference.
I find
it's the
it-
same game.
No, but I find it hard to believe in 3 months you haven't gotten just a bad draw and lost. Because that's like impossible. You're going to draw all lands, or you're just going to have monsters, no lands, or something like that. It happens. I see it happen multiple times a day.
Yeah, I haven't lost in about 2 months.
Someone else is shuffling your cards from now on.
Every
I
time.
know, right?
I shuffle my cards, and then I give them away and let people cut them a bajillion
Well,
times.
that's the problem. You shouldn't be allowed to touch your cards anymore. You
Yeah,
give them to
at
the
all.
other people. Let the other 3
Only-
players shuffle them.
Yeah,
That's
they
smart.
actually...
Wait,
you know,
only cut the cards?
They can do whatever they want. They can
I was
do them
gonna
however
say.
they want.
yeah, and you know what they really should do?
Yeah.
You should have to have a machine that shuffles them and
Oh,
then
and
spits
one's
the
like the
cards out
blackjack.
for you.
It's just
Yeah,
Just get a blackjack
Well, see, that's
dealer.
the best part. So, like, yeah, last Wednesday, they were like, oh, we're going to shuffle your cards. I was like, go ahead. So they shuffled my cards. Turn 1, I may have won.
You may have one.
I won turn 1. And I felt
I don't know how bad your friends' decks have to be, but they have to be something impressive.
I put that deck away and said it was cursed.
Well, some of them might have families with like children to support, so they can't spend the kind of money that Mike spends on
see,
cards.
we allow for...
Yeah.
See, I
See
say
exhibit, see exhibit A.
there's proxies allowed, all right? They can bring fake cards.
Ugh,
I don't
families,
mind.
Children.
They can bring fake cards. Oh man,
Excluding, like...
there's
the-
a lot of really expensive and really powerful cards out there that would be in my deck if I can just bring what I feel like.
Excluding,
just go to your
excluding the
printer.
original Power 9 and anything...
Well, that's not
Bang.
fair. Now you're setting limitations.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, and
Wizards of the Coast is setting limitations.
can I bring up Zodia?
There's no such
That's
thing
my
as
question.
limitations between your friends when you're playing. You can do
What
whatever
about
you
Blue
want.
Eyes White Dragon?
I'll just play Emrakul.
Can I play Blue Eyes White Dragon?
I'll just play... Yeah, you can. I'll bust out my Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I'm
No,
like,
no,
Mike's
Magic.
like, I draw, hit this, tap that, do 10 damage. I'm like, cool, Exodia, I win.
Counter.
Alright, no more card games. Let's play D&D.
That doesn't
Yeah.
work.
We're here for 10. We're here.
I just
Beat him
played
with
a
The
Zodia.
rules say Exodia wins.
When he's on the
is
field, if I stop
there are
him,
no
touch him.
trap
Beat him.
cards.
Ah!
Oh man, dude,
My
Yu-Gi-Oh.
deck has no weak cards.
Funnily enough, there are trap cards in
You're
Magic.
real, my
Yeah, there are trap cards in Magic.
It's a trap.
The whole
Well,
system is
congratulations,
rigged
Tibbs.
to get you to buy booster packs.
Mhm.
See what you started, Tim? See what you did?
You brought the list up, no list. How dare you? Why is everyone talking?
I think we're all just bad people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree.
I think Magic the Gathering falls into a very specific place, just like Dungeons and Dragons, where the creator was like, well, they don't need to use our cards to play, but we really like them to.
Yes.
You know, it's like, you don't need to buy the manuals to play the game. You just need to use your imagination, and you can do the same thing with Magic the Gathering with your friends, apparently, with proxies.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like cut up a bunch of cardstock and just start writing shit on them.
Hey, you know
These
what?
are my cards, bro. Like,
Just like
I don't
in
know
D&D
what to tell you.
Just like on
This
D&D.
land card says specifically when played, I never have to draw another land card to fulfill fucking requirements. Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
well
it's all the colors. Like,
that land card.
that's cool.
That land card has a forest on it, and I'm playing Bo, the lumberjack.
It can tap for any color.
Attack for 1,000 disables on land
There's a
cards.
few cards that tap for any color.
Yeah.
There's,
Oh my
there's a
God.
few.
But hey,
Oh.
It
Mana
taps
doesn't
for
play
all
magic.
land.
hey, just like in
I only-
D&D.
Need one land. Boom.
Can I? Is this homebrew? Is this
I
homebrew
play
approved?
Tamagotchi.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
That's what I play.
We're playing
Can I
Homebrew
multitask?
Magic the Gathering.
This version is called Andy Wins All the Time.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
One of these Thursdays, we gotta play Magic. That way, your friends can see you losing on stream, and there's
Yeah.
camera footage.
I don't have
Yeah.
good. Yes, because I don't have good
You
cards.
should
there.
IRL stream your
We
games.
really
Yes,
should.
games. Because
Who's
I
we?
don't
You
believe
should.
you.
I said we.
I don't
because
wanna
I'm
say
bragging
you're
him.
lying.
Well,
See, Tibbs,
well-
you're a man of culture.
You gotta make sure you get the permission of the
Tibbs is gonna
Oh,
get
good job,
shirts.
Tibbs.
of the individuals that you're
Tips
recording.
getting
See,
to Oathbreaker.
See, luckily, most of my friends know I stream, and they've actually said, "Oh, would
Yeah.
you be?" I asked them
And the
before.
establishment too. Has to be.
Yeah, it's either the establishment or I take them to my house.
Oh,
And we
cool
put it on the
tips.
table.
Right on. We would love for you to that you're confident enough to rep our brand.
Yeah.
Tibbs planning on buying a shirt when he starts getting paid.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's what's up, man. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Anyway,
Well, yes, Tibbs is a man
we
of
should
culture.
we should go through and introduce ourselves and actually start.
Yeah.
Oh, we skipped that part and went straight to the music's on. We're playing. So we skipped that part. These people knew who we are, and if they don't, too bad. They can learn.
If we're playing, I'm playing Exodia.
That's
Yeah.
kind of
It's the only thing I know.
That's like
Red Eyes
that's
Black
my-
Dragon.
That's my
You're all
character.
The magician, the dark magician,
I'm
And
gonna
his-
throw
and his
D4s at
dark
you like
magician
cow
girl.
traps.
and his hot babe, the other dark magician.
Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the internet and what they've done to Dark Magician Girl. Let's move past that.
Why? What did they do, Andy?
Please tell me more about that. Where can I go find this
You guys
information?
know where
Hashtag
fucking Rule 30
Bowser.
You guys know where Rule 34 is. I don't need to explain
What's
this to
Rule
you.
34?
Hear that,
Yeah.
people? Rule.
Hashtag
Now the guy's
Truth
like, it's almost
2019.
bonfire
What's
season.
going on?
That's when I'll rep the hoodie. Oh wait, it'll take 3 weeks to get here. Runs to grab wallet.
Wait. I have to ask, what is Rule 34?
We've been over this.
No,
before,
this is a
and
dangerous
we're not
thing.
Going over this.
Not on
No,
screen.
we're not going over
No,
this.
not right now.
Oh, it's a bad thing?
We'll wait.
No.
Yeah, we'll wait till break, and then we'll explain it to you again because we've been over this before.
We'll let you Google it on your phone.
Okay, Google.
No.
Okay.
To finish the sentence, it exists, therefore there is blank,
Blank
of
of
it.
it.
Is Rule 34.
What, are we not allowed to say that on the stream or something?
No.
I mean, we can. I just don't want to get into a whole thing with Amanda
yeah.
and stuff.
Because Amanda might cross that line of what we are and are not allowed to say.
Yeah.
Poop. Yeah, good decision.
It was a good time playing with you guys. Yeah, there it is.
We're shut down now.
Good
Goodbye,
fun.
everyone.
We're demonetized. Ah.
Shit.
Just as I started being
Once again,
fully here.
Be my guest, dude. I'm telling you, flip the fucking.
I
Flip
would
it
love
over
to.
end, Alex.
I got hit.
I'd be real impressed. I really would be.
It is solid.
It's heavy, so I'd be real impressed if someone flipped the table end over end.
I was really hoping Mike would just
Gently.
throw out his back right there. Just like joking around. There's
That would be a Mike thing to do.
Ooh,
We're talking about a guy who like walks down the hallway and like flails his arms.
I
and thinks he's
do
being
not
funny and
flail.
hits the fucking doorknobs in the hallway.
I do not flail, I elegantly swing my arms.
Elegant.
Maybe Austin Powers down the hallway.
Yeah.
yeah, baby.
Yeah, all you see is, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, doorknob.
Exactly. This is the man.
All
This
Man,
is the
the
bar.
man.
And you know what happens when all you hear is,
It's bad. It's bad, dude. It's bad. Just
Yeah.
spend a little bit of time here, and it's crazy.
you heard me almost die when I put my headphone down?
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, was that super loud crash I heard the other day coming through the apartment? It's like it was like Wednesday.
Which one?
Wednesday?
Yeah, that worries me that you said which one.
Oh, Wednesday! Yeah! Oh, fuck! Okay, story time. So I'm getting together, I'm getting my magic cards together, and so I'm packing up my stuff, and I put my backpack over my shoulder. I didn't realize it hitches over my light. So I take a step, and my foot wraps around my fucking light cable, and the backpack pulls, so I put the backpack down, and I lean, and next thing I know, my face is like, door. I was like, ow!
Wow, I really feel like I was there. You really painted a picture with your words.
Tell me.
I especially like.
It's like a comic book.
Set the mood, though. Tell me about the lighting in the room.
There was none. It was dark, and I was alone, and they were screaming.
How did the door feel when it struck your
I
face?
felt empowered by it beating the shit out of me.
The door was beating the shit out of you?
Yes! It got up and hit me in the face.
Now, here's my question. How can you now sleep in that room, the same room that the door that beat the shit out of you is just there watching?
We've come to agreement. It caught me the next day.
It caught you outside?
No, it caught me. I was falling again. This time it saved me.
You got your ass kicked by a door.
It's a big-ass door.
The door is just asserting its dominance and making sure that you understand that the door will not tolerate any of these fucking Kyle shenanigans. There will be no punching the door when you're upset at other
The
things.
door saw there was a couple monsters in the room. Was like, I gotta teach this motherfucker a lesson. Can't let another Kyle breed.
Yeah.
I gotta teach him.
Catch me outside.
It was not a dumb door.
Catch me outside.
The door says.
I can't go outside. I'm a door. I'm kind of in between always.
Imagine the door being more internal, just like, I am eternal and forever. You are nothing but a renter in this house.
Alright. I'll be here always.
I will be here always.
You should just draw eyes on it and the mouth just like Plank from
Door mimic.
Eddie, dude. Just
Door
just always looking at.
I really want fan art of Mike just begging his door to open, like, please let me in.
Please let me in.
By the way, so enough of Mike's shenanigans. We should make you post stories. We should have a room just for you so you can like today.
You mean like his
Today I
character
tripped on
room that he's
nothing.
posted in like
yeah,
what?
but this will be way more active because he hurts himself way more often than he
That's
does
true.
come up with characters.
Captain's log.
Yeah.
Today I woke up.
Captain's log. I was walking to work and there was this car and then I was spinning and I don't know what happened, but the car kept driving and then my leg hurt for 2 hours.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones where you fall just standing in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Those are the ones I want
that's the
people
thing.
to know about.
Is we
Dude,
need honest recap.
Anytime you say that, all I think of is the time before this event where I was standing in the kitchen. I'm talking to Andy.
Save it for the channel.
I
Save it
know,
for your
right?
This is
story.
an important one. This is great. I'm just standing there talking to Andy. It's not even night. It's like 8 o'clock. And I have Gatorade in my hand, brand new. We're talking all of a sudden.
Just drops it.
Captain's
Are you
log.
walking
And then-
that's in my kitchen?
No, old kitchen. And Andy's like, "Did you have a stroke?" I think I'm fine. You just
Fast.
lost all faculties. I'm fine. See, I picked it up again. Are you dying? I don't think so. All right, just want to make sure.
Captain's log. Command brain. Command alt delete. And right arm functions. And task.
But Captain, I said end right arm function.
Task still running. Force stop.
Just like,
Yeah, force stop.
Push the stop, damn it.
Our sensors are down, Captain. Sensors are down.
File.exe arm is not responding.
File.exe arm is not working. Please reboot.
Engineer, I need that arm up and running right away. I'm giving it all I've got.
We have plans later. We need that arm. Anyways, so
Wait a minute. I see what you were talking about.
Oh, jeez.
bring it back to Rule 34.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I know what those plans are. You can't fool me.
I deny all allegations. So, last week,
Sorry, man, they were bad people.
last week, the party was forced to fight for their lives against Verica's strongest guards and henchmen, including the Blood Elf monk Silas. It was a fierce and absolutely terrible battle.
The best.
as she unleashed her full potential on the party and made a real statement by immediately killing Reiken, like right away. It was bad. And decimating the Guardians of the Vale.
Way to keep that emotional tension.
But it did come to a bloody end for Silas.
Start tears.
And the party was saddened by the failure of Solas's ability to make his Revivify spell reach out and bring Reiken back from beyond the Veil of Death. They attempted then to lay him to rest at the Temple of Parathor, only to fall asleep and wake up in the morning and realize that Reiken's body had disappeared without a trace from the altar where he was laid. So, in the early hours of the first rays of sunlight creeping over the mountains, in the main chamber of worship, that's where we start today's session.
Oh God. Sorry, Swool's asked why I sound like a hater. I hear three typing, so I know there's more insults to come.
There's always more insults to come, Mike. You're just too easy of a target. Low-hanging fruit. Careful.
You bastard! Alright, I'm riding this ginger train.
Oh no.
So I believe Solace, as I recall, the rays of light were hitting you first.
No, I think she rolled out of bed first and saw the
No,
stone.
Solas did. He woke up first, but you
Was
all
that
woke
what-
up at
Yeah.
the same time, basically.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Don't worry about hurting his feelings.
Yeah,
That
this
people
died
will-
years ago.
What, your
I
sense of
get up.
dignity and
I get up and I look for
Wait,
some
am I
of
supposed
the,
to be born with those?
some of the clerics or servants of the church.
Do you get a roll a dex?
You hit your face on the door.
That's a D12. Oh. Ooh, 16. Do I get up?
Yeah,
Safely? I get up, but do I get up safely?
That matters, man.
I'd like to spot a servant of the church.
Servant. An
you
alcohol?
don't see anybody.
I look around, seeing everyone else waking up. He's gone. Do you think they took his body for burial? I would have thought I would have woken up.
Maybe he just walked around.
Walked around. He was dead.
Maybe it worked. Maybe he's walking around.
What's happening?
Reiken!
Oh God, what happened? Sorry, I slept deeper than I thought. I was quite exhausted from the night before.
Reiken's not there. He's walking around. We have to find him.
Wait, did he come back?
No, he just wasn't here when we woke up.
Did they take him for burial?
That was my first guess, but I don't see any servants around.
Normally they should have alerted us, shouldn't they? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I should have taken a couple days.
Yeah. I stand up and I go. No, I'm just gonna say can I? I'd like to do an investigation checks of the altar,
Okay.
just to see if there's.
Yeah. I got you. There's nothing. I don't even know what you rolled. There's nothing. You find all 0 traces of Reiken that exist on the altar.
I might trip and fall on this one.
What else is new?
Enough to elaborate.
We're no longer role-playing at this point. We've crossed the boundaries into reality. As Theolins slips on the very wide and broad stairs that no one should fall on.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my leg. There's no trace of him.
What about his gear?
Well, you guys took all of his gear off of him anyways when he died.
Yeah.
So,
Is that all? Oh, earthquake. Just on your guys.
like, do you still have it on your person? Which one of you took the bag of holding, by the way?
I mean, nobody took it, but we would have just set it by the altar near him.
Yeah, so there's a pile of stuff by him.
Yeah.
Kept his
Oh,
gear
is
separate.
there? Is there DM?
I don't know. That's why we're asking. We're like,
I mean,
none of us
if you
took
had
it.
the intent to do it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just assumed you guys would have taken it off his body because it's all yours now. Technically.
They're prepping his body to go in a
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
So,
But But none of us were audacious about during.
Well,
the
do you
night.
guys want to split it right now then,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
make sure
we
who has what?
Yeah.
All
so
right.
it's supposed to be
Let's deal with the stuff.
Because
Like
this is the impression I was under. Any other impression would mean it's all gone with his body. So it's either you guys can distribute it or it's all gone.
It's all good. Yeah.
So what are we distributing that?
All right, we'll start with the diamonds. Those would have been helpful.
And they go to the fucking clerics.
1,100 gold pieces worth.
What?
Still in the bag.
Let's not
before
forget how
300 got
helpful a
used
high
on the
priest would
spell?
have been too.
That's true. You got me there.
Hey, is that before 300 got used on the spell, or is that after?
That's after. That's
Okay,
what's left. I got it all scratched out here. See him? You know.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah. See, this is accounting, everyone.
Given that.
The joy of
And
accounting.
yet you work in IT.
Joy of accounting.
Anybody.
I'm in the wrong profession. Yes.
So you keep start storing everyone's gold and stuff, just like Reikens.
Be funny if Lumi had it.
That's why I didn't give it to her.
Put me in charge of it. It'll all go towards donations.
Yeah, you don't get it because donations. I don't want to give it to
What-
Lumi
what else we
because
got?
we're gonna wake
Okay,
up. and there's
I don't have
terrible-
I don't have the
gamble it away.
specific items broken down,
Not
but
that bad.
items and fine
Yeah.
art we have 700 golds worth.
Yeah, it's not really meant to be broken down. It's just general fine art that you guys
Just
have to
stuff we need
sell
to
through
pawn
events
off.
or something.
So-
Pawn off.
Or we
So
just
go
like
up
hang it up on our new home. Make it
Items and
Yeah,
fine
you
art.
could put it up and around. Why not?
So you attract thieves.
Tell me Riken left a will that says you should raise a monument to me in my death.
Yeah.
That greets people as they enter our grounds.
Well, that depends if you guys are going to look for it or not. Let's see. Actual physical gold, since we never distributed it from our big haul. This is including minus what I left at the manor of my own cut. We have 9,835 gold pieces.
And 2,000 of that I took. That was mine.
No, that's yours.
Oh.
Too.
Yeah.
We've been hoarding a lot. I've been hoarding.
Oh, okay.
So how much was that?
9,835 gold pieces. Don't worry, I'm writing all this down. You can wait.
We have 7,700.
We've been over this. It's best everybody writes it down.
Yeah. We have
Just in case.
7,075 silver pieces.
7,165.
7,075.
Oh, 75.
1,000 even copper pieces.
Nice.
And
Time to go see a bank about that.
Yeah.
Money changer.
we have 500 even platinum pieces.
No, the copper's just when you need to buy something and you really want to spend it in pennies.
If only copper was a penny, realistically, but it's not the case.
That's how you pay city fines.
Yeah. Copper's more like 75-cent piece in the medieval economy.
On Reikens' person, there was a potion of resist poison.
Who wants that one? If we're doing items, we should just throw it.
Oh, I already have one.
And this will take it.
I'm
Yeah,
resistant
take
to
it.
poison.
I don't want,
That's
I want
what I'm
this
like.
to take all night.
I stab with poison.
Yeah.
There's also a platinum rod, topped with the figure of an angel.
I believe it has a name, doesn't it?
If you
In
did,
D&D Beyond.
you might have named it.
I'm pretty sure I named it.
I gotta pull up
Who
Reikens.
wants the rod?
What's it do?
Not I.
You could probably send whoever takes these things the information later for
Yeah.
the homebrew.
I will do that later.
But we write down the names so that way it goes in your guys' inventories.
He was wearing the cloak of the Silver Realm.
That's the cool one that casts
Yep.
blur once a day.
Yeah.
It has +1 to AC when in woodland environment.
Oh.
Forests. Sorry, not woodland environments, because that's too broad a term. Forests. Very specific. Because I could just see certain players standing in a grove of small trees in the middle of a courtyard going, this is woodland environment.
I'm just gonna drag a tree with me everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's taking that?
I'll swoop that up.
Connected.
Or no, do you already have a cloak?
It does require attunement. So.
I would say give it to you just because that'll help with
So
your
does the
whole
rock.
Okay.
getting hit.
Yeah, I'll
problem.
take it.
Yeah, I want to give it to you because you have a problem with getting hit. So
True story.
Yeah.
I know these people too well.
Dude, I saw him get scaled.
On the cloak is attached the hood. That was a purple hood with a green clasp. That was pretty specific for him, so won't be any good to anybody. 5 rounds of the reaving ammunition.
Yep.
Which was for a longbow or bow, really. It was arrows.
I'll swoop up those. Reaving ammo, was that a D&D Beyond item or custom?
Yeah.
Reaving ammo?
Those are homebrew.
Can't ask me that.
Reaving ammo comes out of Mordekainen's Lost Notebook.
Sound.
Huh?
The rest of it is just the stuff that we can distribute kind of later. That's in the bag of holding.
Oh, like all the stuff that we.
Yeah,
Everything else is in the bag of
tower
holding, and we
knife.
just need to know where the bag of holding goes.
I'll take it.
the gold was in the bag of holding too.
Yeah.
You guys should know what you got.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
A lot of stuff from.
So who's taking the bag of holding? Mike is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have to divvy up all that shit.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Okay. So now that's all sorted. Anyways, yeah. So you don't find any traces of Reiken on the altar or his things because they're all in your guys' possession already.
Because we were quick about that.
Yeah. Real quick.
Real quick.
my.
Gear, dude.
Yeah.
Cool hood.
It's like on the pause menu, you just quickly transfer things.
Yeah, no time passes in the game.
Yeah.
None.
The Witcher, just click, 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 repair. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna go into the other chambers and look for Reiken.
Just because you search the temple?
Yeah.
Okay.
I convinced Reikens.
Okay, that's fair. You're convinced. That's cool. So, kind of peeking into the private chambers and the chambers that you have access to that aren't locked, you don't see any traces of him anywhere. Like any kind of, I mean, nothing specific that would say like Reiken's been here.
Nowhere is private. I
The
go
place is
everywhere.
the place
I
is
unlock everything.
completely clean. I mean, the floors get hand scrubbed by acolytes and initiates like every day. So there's really no way to like track him per se inside if he is in fact walking around the temple. But you search everywhere and you guys don't find him.
Strange.
I think this is something to do with Lilith and all that demonic business, fiendish business.
She's a devil.
Sorry.
She should. Well, she should have left a note or something.
You should know this, Blood Hunter.
Yeah, I know. It's just yeah.
Breaking my immersion, man.
The weird differentiation they do is annoying. But yeah,
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so I think it has something to do with this demonic, devilish activity. Dark activity.
yeah, dark.
This
Something
dark
unnatural.
activity. This unnatural.
Aye.
Oh,
I think you might be right. Perhaps Lilith claimed his body.
But,
it seems kind of strange.
but wouldn't she, left like a burn mark or something?
She really didn't leave
Mike, can you bring me my bag?
of holding.
Technically, all bags are like bags of holding. They hold stuff.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
They're just not as cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we can confirm this. Me doesn't have anything, but as a paladin, do you happen to have anything that may search if a fiend has been here or is still in the area?
You mean like detect evil and good?
So it lasts for like 6 seconds, right?
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
60
like
foot
it's
radius.
meant to
So,
be enough
so
to get a
where do you
gist.
want to
back
in the
to
main chamber near the altar?
Yeah.
Like there. Okay.
Maybe if something's invisible.
It detects what fiends,
Fiends, celestial, undead,
undead.
not abjuration.
I think it's just fiend celestials under.
Yeah, all the religious stuff.
And
But
it
none of the
only
monsters.
detects if something is currently there
Is
or
currently-
if something consecrated the area.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, I can look it up. Do you?
Yeah, it doesn't detect whether or not something has been there. It's only as if it has been consecrated, as if by the hallowed spell or
Yeah.
whatever, I believe. So, so you reach out, kind of. you just reach out with like your mind's eye, and you kind of pick up the general divine aura of like the building and the statues and everything that's here. But you don't see anything that stands out particularly as having been
Why would I know? I
here,
was dead.
like any. You don't pick up any signs of like ritual magic or divine magic or like anything like that having been like purposely utilized in like that area, that 60-foot area. So you don't. There's no real traces of anything that stands out as strange or unique in any way to you.
All right. Well, I don't sense anything.
There's definitely nothing present there for sure.
But she really didn't leave much of a presence the last time she showed up,
That's true.
or any marks.
Did she talk to anybody in their dreams? I heard you guys. What happened to you guys?
Well, I didn't have any dreams.
If anyone, I would think it'd be you. You did kind of mention her a few times when we were giving our memories of Reiken.
No, I just think he walked around. I think he's avoiding us.
But why?
Maybe he was ashamed of the battle. You know, he did kind of talk smack to her. Silas.
Yeah, but he died. Wouldn't you think he'd be like, "Hey guys, I'm super alive now"? You did fail, right? You didn't happen to be like alive and just unresponsive.
No, he was dead. You saw the wounds on his chest
Yeah, I just
and his crushed throat.
yeah, that's true.
I just,
Nothing really healed.
And if he was walking around, he would. I know Riken. He would have took his stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially
He
the
would have
gold.
not let 9,000 gold pieces just sit in a bag, not in his
well,
possession.
maybe coming back to life, he might have just thought, gold doesn't mean anything. He might have been a changed man.
Yeah, but this cool purple cloak that he got,
Candy.
that's only good for warlocks.
What? What's up?
Oh, he would have took that.
Well, you would think maybe if he died and came back, like he's not a warlock anymore, because maybe
Oh, why don't
he's
you read
a
it?
normal human.
I will if they
Maybe
bring
he's
it up.
got memory loss. Maybe he's out there not knowing what's going on with his life,
I just wanted you to
and we
check it
need
out.
to find him.
Maybe it's just something we should do. Just leave the dead. It doesn't seem like we're going to find anything, make any kind of progress.
Well, we can leave some lost Riken flyers around town.
Yeah.
If
I'll draw it. You see her bust out her notebook and starts drawing a picture.
sounds like a good idea to me. It sounds like a smart idea.
And then you see a picture of like a roughly drawn like stick figure with the guy with the speech bubble that says "Give me money."
Missing.
I pull out my book and I attempt to draw a lifelike representation of Reiken.
Mine's better.
Use that as a draft. That's pretty good.
I attempt to recreate Reiken. in all
Actually, you
of
know what? I apologize because actually you do sense the presence of fiendish magic
Oh,
coming from below you.
Coming from below.
From below.
it just took you a while.
Took a while to seep through.
Yeah.
Is it through?
This one is because it's particularly powerful. It's a very, very strong resonance coming from below.
Prison.
You have this weird look in your eye. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. There's something finally just hit me. It's like strong evil, but it's odd. It's below the temple. As I look down at the stone, it's
There's nothing obvious in this smooth stone marble about any kind of entrances or anything in this room.
I check for traps.
You think that's where they buried him?
Do you?
Mhm.
Perception check
No.
or investigation actually.
Investigation check.
mousetrap.
Mousetrap, huge one.
Natural 20.
You find all 0 traps
Okay, cool.
in this very common room where lots of people walk around.
Well, you just see Lumi like on all fours, just like going.
We gotta have those old lady traps. Keep the old ladies out.
Does the temple have any basements or antechambers?
There's tombs below.
Well, it should. It's strong. I look at Solus. Fiendish.
Could you track it?
It's just below us. I can't track it real accurate, but
You have a big hammer. Start doing
Oh,
that.
I don't
He's
think
not
this-
going to desecrate this church like that.
All right.
But there's beans.
I'm gonna go try to find an acolyte or anybody that I.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so you just go into the first chamber and just shake the first person you see awake.
Pardon me.
And he's just like startled. He's like, "Oh, what is what? Oh, God, don't do that to people. What are you doing?"
I'm terribly sorry that this is urgent.
Okay, what is it? Is he's like waking up and like rubbing his eyes and like kind of sitting up on the edge of his
Is there
bed?
any?
Is there some sort of an emergency, or are we under attack again?
Not yet. And maybe not later, but just in
And
case.
judging by his robes, he's an initiate. So
Is there any tombs or antechambers down below, or prepping chambers down? And as I point
there's
to
a.
the main
I mean,
chamber,
we have the crypts down for those who die while in service to Parathor. So, yeah, there's a small crypt down below.
how do we get in there?
Well, we don't. I'm not allowed, and neither is anybody below the rank of priest. So I don't know.
Then who is?
Anybody who's the rank of priest or above would have access.
Can you point a priest out for me, please?
Their private quarters are down the chamber. I mean, you should be familiar. You've been here before.
Sorry. This isn't. I was jostled. I do apologize.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, see, we have something in common.
Either way, you should take this to one of the priests, and they can help you.
Thank you. And I go off to one of the priest chambers.
He follows you out, and then you hear the door latch behind you.
I want to unlock it.
You're not there. You're still on the floor looking for imaginary trapdoors.
I walk up to the priest door and
knock on the door.
yes.
So you knock a couple of times. You wait. You feel like you hear some rustling, some noises coming from the other side of the door, and then it opens, and the same priest that you've been basically dealing with the whole time, the same one that you brought to when Reikens died. Yes, what can I do for you, Theolin?
What's your guy's name? Real quick?
Taylor?
Yeah, thank you. I was saying it in my head, but I said it wrong.
Yes. This may sound bizarre, but we need access to the tombs.
What for?
Our paladin, through the gift of Taylor, sensed something nefarious down there.
He looks really confused. What do you mean nefarious?
Something evil.
Evil.
Yes.
I find that hard to believe. It's just the dead, and there's nobody alive down there.
Normally, I would agree, but this is a paladin, a friend of mine. I wouldn't believe he would be lying.
I'm not assuming that he's lying. I'm just saying that maybe he's mistaken, or...
That'd be a big mistake for him.
You're right, it would be, which is what I'm saying.
I don't believe it is. I would just ask that you allow us to enter in and check what it is, please.
I really can't do that.
And then I look. Please.
Step forward.
Okay. So he gives he gives a bow.
Give a nod. As a cleric of Parathor, would you allow me to go take a look and make sure our grounds have not been desecrated? Just put to bed any sort of ill thoughts.
Well, of course, a cleric of who serves Parathor is... You have absolute authority to go down there. I can't say no. But there's nothing down there for you to find. It's chambers filled with the dead. And only a few at that.
What do I find?
By the way, so he goes back in the room, closes the door behind him, and then you sound like you hear, I don't know, maybe like a dresser or maybe a chest or something being slid, and then something opening. And he comes back and he hands you a key. A very simple, very plain, kind of old key. And then he directs you, go to the end of the hall here and take the stairway down. It only goes one direction, so it will take you into the preparation chambers, the funeral chamber. There will be several sarcophagi entombed with those high priests who served before. And that's it. That's all you should find.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry to wake you.
Either way.
I'll walk off.
Okay.
Guys, I can't find any trapdoors here. But it really feels nice. They did a good job cleaning it.
And putting
for sure.
Yeah, putting on heavy armor takes so long.
Takes 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Keep talking.
But,
I come over and follow suit like, shit, he's got a good idea.
as I go and put my own armor on, with the help of Solus, we were able to get the key to the tomb down below. It's where most of the high priests of Parathor are.
Do you think Reikens down there?
I don't know, but with his sense of when he sensed fiend, I'd say it's worth taking a look.
Yeah, Fiend's an odd one. I mean, I figured maybe some sort of weird necromantic energy maybe woke some bodies or something down there, but it should have came back as undead, not Fiend.
This does not sit well.
No.
Maybe Reikens just hanging out with his imp friends.
Maybe his imps are down there. Maybe they know something. They kind of disappeared at the start of that battle.
Asshole bastards.
Fishy.
Fish.
Suspicious.
Perhaps they cast Fiend.
Imps are like cats. They're not to be trusted.
What if they just cast Fiend Death on Reikens?
All cats become imps in hell.
That's where imps come from. That's how you get imps.
Cats die to go to hell?
Wow.
Not all imps are from cats, but all cats will be imps. Schrodinger's imp. Yeah.
All dogs go to heaven. They don't talk about cats.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I put on my armor.
Yeah.
I get
As do
dressed.
I.
Yeah, you're always good. I'm like, you have armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, mine's medium, so I put it on way faster than you.
Mhm.
I've been dressed for like 5 minutes now.
Games.
I don't like being naked in the middle of a freaking temple.
I like being naked when I sleep.
I
I like long rests that are uninterrupted.
Yeah. It does make sense.
After everyone gets dressed,
Alright.
Gotcha.
He gave me the directions. Let's go take a look.
Alright.
Sure.
I lead the way.
Okay, so you open up the first door, which isn't actually locked. You go down a set of like square stairs that go down maybe like, I don't know, 10 feet or so. And then you find one solid door with a barred window that you can look through. And just glancing through, you don't see much more than what he described. You see a few, 2 rows of sarcophaguses, so there's 8 of them, 4 in each row. Plus there's several alcoves cut out of the wall, similar to what you've seen already plenty of times in many other temples and crypts, especially the one back in Breathorp. And there's nothing out of the ordinary in the room whatsoever, just through a glance through the window.
based off of just kind of like figuring where we started and where we are we like, would we be directly below where we were, or are we completely off on a different side of the temple now?
It's a different part of the temple. You didn't travel a great distance. You went down about 10 feet in this rectangular square, rectangular staircase, and here's this chamber.
Given the description, may I, with the barred window, I'd like to lean forward and smell the air and see if I can sense any indicators of demonic or devilish activity.
Sulfur.
Yeah, exactly. Try to have advantage on.
I'm smelling
Yes.
the bullshit.
Awesome. 18.
No. Don't smell anything out of the ordinary.
The only thing I smell is the dead.
It's well taken care of. It's clean. It's maintained.
Is it bleached?
Sure. Why not?
Does your
Bleach is the most valuable cleaning product because you need to get it from green dragons, so very rare.
bleach the leech.
Do you sense the fiend?
I don't sense anything right now, but we should just go in there and look around first.
See if there's any more chambers that go lower.
Yeah, anything with red eyes, get ready to stab it.
No, wait a minute. Me does not want to enter any tombs of any high priest unless it's necessary. How far down, does your sense more or less tell you how far down you may have felt this presence?
About 60 feet from up top.
Well, we've only gone down 10-ish.
Well, it goes out 60 feet. I can't really get a good estimate. I just know it was down. It's somewhere around here.
Are there other pathways, or is this like a
No,
primary?
this is it. It's this it. The staircase leads to here. You're in a small, like 5 foot, like maybe 8 foot space. Actually, that's just like an additional chambers for multiple people to stand while they open the doors, more or less.
Well, how about this, Solas? Since you're a holy man, perhaps either you or the both of you can go in there so the rest of us don't desecrate or offend your faith in any way.
Aye, me will be okay with this one.
At the first sign of commotion, we're coming in.
Aww.
Well, don't all come in. It's a small room.
I mean, most of you aren't even like really fitting in there.
Yeah.
It's more or less just Solas, Hargraves, and Alfarius standing in the doorway, while the rest of you are kind of on the stairs.
Big dragon. The big dragon.
Yeah, the big dragon.
Let me tell you what, it's roomy.
Yeah. Thanks, Sola.
Yeah, so you gonna go in?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you unlock it. Opens fairly smooth, no creaking, nothing out of the ordinary. You enter the chamber.
WD-40.
The sarcophagi are all covered and adorned with the sigils of Parathor and with cloths, and only 2 of them, from what you can tell, have the standard trappings that come with being actually occupied by a body of someone who's being entombed here in service. Given that you know that the temple is relatively new, it hasn't had enough time to have a lot of high priests go through it. But surveying the room and looking at, there's holy scriptures on the wall, standard phrasings, and parts of chapters of worship from Parathor's teachings. Aside from that, the room looks fairly plain. Aside from the tall the sconces, the tri-sconces, and the candles, which at the moment aren't lit. So the room looks extraordinarily dark to you, and you,
Well, I've got a
but
lantern.
not to you. Oh, you didn't say you turned it on, so I didn't assume because you have dark vision, so didn't think you needed it on.
And just to be sure, just you 2 went in.
Yeah.
I'm by the doorway.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm sorry, I always turn it on. I will make a fact of stating it now.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that could really make a difference if you're trying to sneak through somewhere.
No, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'll always want it on.
Yeah.
Always.
That's my whole point.
That's actually been very true.
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing?
Can you, I don't know, sense or do whatever it is that's...
I use for the last time today.
How long does it last?
6 seconds.
Yeah, just like a moment.
Yeah, it's just a moment.
Shit.
Detective look good.
Okay. So you do pick it up again, way fainter this time. Like it's just on the very edges of lateral to you, just like on the very edges of what the range of your senses.
But what direction?
Across the room from you, straight to the other side.
On the bright side, just so you guys know, dark vision is in grayscale. So if you have a light, you can see in color. So that's one of the benefits of using the actual light, even when you have dark vision. Just pro tip.
I point at the wall.
MLG ESL Pro.
I point at the wall. Pro tip: show everyone the direction.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
And one. It's ladder straight that way. Like at the end, like 60 feet that way now.
Are we on par with it?
Par? What do you mean par?
Is it on the same plane, the same level as us?
Oh yeah, level. Yep, it's on the same level as us. But it's that way. And then I go up to the wall.
So the wall is it's just a large emblem. It's been like embellished with gold, and it's the symbol of Parathor, the sun with the rays. Nothing particular stands out to you about it.
I mean, you got a good sense of stone.
I will go up to the stone and see if any of it is. I guess I want to see, like, is this stone wall? Is it dirt on the other side, or is there potential that there may be something on the other side of this stone wall?
Like I know a backfield when I tap on the rock.
Is it a load-bearing stone wall?
Load-bearing
Yeah.
stone wall. Yeah.
Use your dirt binder.
Tap,
Oh, yeah, there's dirt binder.
You got your tin can.
It could be. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah. Only does not want to tear down a wall, and especially in a church of Parathor.
You want to let something evil reside in a church of Parathor?
No, he does not want to do that.
Exactly. That's my thought exactly as well.
I'm loving
The Dragonborn makes a compelling argument.
it.
And it's that way. How about we let Lumi in here? She can tear this room apart.
No, me would not like anyone unholy in here.
Leave one.
He called you unholy.
I am holy to the cat lord.
You're just going to be a big imp when you die, so don't worry.
The biggest.
Actually, I'm quite flabbergasted by this. What do you mean, unholy?
Well, as
What?
far as me has seen, she has not devoted herself to any sort of good, like you, myself, and a little bit I've seen of thing. Also, it does seem that Hargrave shows some sort of knowledge of the Veld Queen.
That's true.
Also, there are open shinies sitting on top of the sarcophagi too.
There's
Gold
not.
plates, offerings, things like that, trappings, silks. So
Probably buried with some stuff. On top of it.
possibly.
Well, how many times have you known her to steal something? Or are you just assuming?
All tabaxi are the same.
Yeah, all the backs here are the same.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
there was 1,000 gold she donated to the Church of Parathor, and then gave back to Reikens and said she stole it back.
Oh,
This is why I could never be in a courtroom.
Oh shit! So not only has she's stolen from the church already.
No, I'm confused because it sounds like she gave, but then she took back, so it's like a neutral.
But she
Like
phrased
neutral
it as
sense.
stolen.
Stolen. Did the church report it stolen? Well, how come you didn't report it stolen? Are you an accomplice now? So you just let that one slide, but you can't let this one slide.
The chamber's only like 30 feet, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's like echoes, so you guys are having this conversation.
About Moral.
And there's the three of you are just standing there listening to them debate the merits of
Yeah.
her character.
Sneak in.
I would like
So
to.
as they're having this conversation, you see you hear like a shifting on the floor, and you kind of look and try to identify where it's come from, and you see a mouse coming down the stairs, and it goes into the room, and you just start following it. You're not even paying attention to the fact that he doesn't want you in there anymore. You follow this mouse as it goes along the edge of the wall into the room, and you're just following it. And then you see it hit this space in the stone near where they're standing, and it goes through the stone, the gap. Underneath.
I check.
It's solid stone. There's a gap, and it goes through. Into the wall.
Like the crease here.
Yeah,
Like the
crease.
gap.
I just look at it.
Yeah, it's dark.
I'm dark.
What that means is it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. There's no
Like,
light on
you
the
don't-
other
yeah.
side.
My
Showing
guy,
you.
there's a mouse. The mouse just went through this wall. There's something behind it.
And so you suddenly feel this tail like back you on the back of the leg as she's down there like looking at it.
There's a mouse. I thought it was Sir Reginald.
What are you doing in here?
It was a mouse.
Sure.
And the mouse just went through the wall. There's something back there. It's like
Did it have the red eyes I warned about?
I would like. I'm
what are you doing?
investigation, memory, history.
Something.
She's like, I rolled, damn it! Give me a
whatever
result!
it takes.
Give me a result, damn it!
11. Do I?
It didn't have. It seemed like a normal mouse.
did,
It looked hungry.
did it bear the mark of the House of Reginald?
I know. Right?
Yeah.
No.
I for a moment I thought it was Reginald, but it didn't look like Reginald, so I was wondering where I was going, and then it just went through this wall.
This wall, the wall that we were standing at.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not.
Me still think she should not be in here.
Well, she
I
clearly.
checked for like a hidden
Yeah,
passage.
there we go.
Make investigation check.
Listen, the cat's out of the bag. Just deal with it.
I can only stall so long.
So there is like a lower on the very bottom. Intermittently, there are basically what look like gold medallions that are smaller symbols of Parathor, and upon applying pressure to one, the stone shifts and slides open, and there you see in the other room, you see the mouse halfway down this like 40-foot hallway, just running along the edge of the wall towards the end.
I carefully, on all fours,
Mhm.
go after the mouse.
So Tabaxi just goes.
So I hear the sliding of stone, right?
Well, you see it.
Yeah.
You're there.
Well, I didn't know how big it was, you know?
Yeah, you're
He's
there
hanging
with
his
your
head in
lit up
shame. He's just like,
lantern.
yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, so this huge door opens.
Right in front of you.
thank you.
That's my bad, I guess.
Well, you said like this lower part, so I was like, I thought
Like a
it was like
hobbit
only
door.
down here,
A little slot, like a little cubby hole.
right?
It's a gnome door. Just
It's a gnome door so they can go outside.
So I see the tabaxi take off, right?
Oh yeah, she runs down the hallway, chasing the mouse.
On all fours.
I just go after her. Like,
you'll never catch her.
I don't know this.
Okay. So you try to catch up, but she's way too fast. And you reach the end, and the mouse goes under a door, like this gap, and just goes into another room. And this door is, it looks like any other normal door that you guys would have encountered inside the building. It's made of a sturdy wood. It's varnished. It looks clean and well maintained. Has a heavy doorknob on it. Doesn't appear to have any form of a lock on it whatsoever. There's all sorts of celestial writing and texts on the door. What does it say? Do you read Celestial?
Oh, I
believe
studied
I do.
Celestial for a summer in college.
Yeah.
I speak it.
for my summer abroad.
Yes, I do believe that while I was studying in the Church of Parathor, I picked up Celestial.
Huh?
So I sit by
They're
the
just
door.
holy phrases dedicated to what would the word be?
Love.
No. It's very vague, wordy phrasing. Basically, a way of saying that, like, this is a what would that be? Like a sacred space, more or less, a sacred site beyond this door.
Abandon all hope.
Does the door open towards me or towards the room?
Looking at the hinges, it opens towards you.
Okay, I want to like prop myself against the door, kind of like putting my weight against it, and I want to.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make my way down there. It's dark. As I'm attacking everybody else for.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I had it too.
I was like, we've been granted permission.
The mouse went through here,
Mhm.
so it's bound to be food.
Or it's home, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was just told Reginald goes for food, so you know, food.
So it was somewhere down this direction. This looks mighty fine, obvious.
Me currently does not like this. Me under the impression that the priest gave me. Me doesn't think he knows this is here, first off.
Well, shoot. Is there dust on the ground? Does it look like it's been disturbed at all?
No, it looks clean, like it's maintained.
So it's all maintained.
Then maybe they do know it's here.
They just didn't know what to tell you.
So then what are they hiding?
Maybe they
That's
locked
right.
away some ancient secret evil that they don't want anyone to know about.
That sounds like
Right.
we should open the door.
They took Reiken.
That would be startling.
Actually,
I love Theolin's enthusiasm. There's an ancient evil locked down here. Well, that means we should let it out. Obviously.
Of course.
well, it might
Can't do
actually
hero
make
shit
some
if hero
sense.
shit hides behind the door.
Exactly.
Yep.
See?
Yep.
The meadow crow gets
So-
it.
It might. Also, it
You're
might.
all crowded into this, 7-foot wide hallway.
I put my hand on Solus's shoulder. Solus. Yeah, I forget. Solus.
Solus.
Hey, I'm like
Solus.
5 foot.
Solus. Solus. I know that you have hesitations letting us into a holy sanctuary. Place of holy worship. With a room of even more holy worship. But doesn't evil sometimes outweigh certain rules and
Well-
regulations that prevent us from going in?
But could Mason be correct? Maybe they're housing something down here they don't want out.
Listen up. This might sound a little odd, but
What's your passive perception?
let me look. My passive perception is 14. 1/4.
And then don't you automatically get shouldn't it be higher than that? Because don't you automatically get a +5 for perception checks that rely on
Oh, I have
sight and
advantage?
smell?
I have
Well, that's what advantage comes
Yeah,
out to,
+5
+5.
for smell and hearing
Okay.
because I'm a pup.
As you got closer to the hallway and came and got closer to the door, you smell very, very faintly the iron copperish residue of blood for sure. It's very faint and old, but you still pick it up. Very quick hits your nostrils.
Now, I don't mean to read into it too heavily, but when you say old,
Old.
like decaying old?
You don't know.
Okay.
Just old.
Now, I smell something behind that door. It smells like blood. I can't say if it's Reiken or not. He was kind of a mess when we brought him in here. But let's not pretend that during that battle, hundreds of people didn't see him summon demons out of the ground. It's not a secret where he was getting his powers from. You bring a body like that to a temple, maybe they want to lock it away because obviously he's been corrupted in some way. Maybe that's why they didn't want to tell you
back, Oak Tree.
why.
Hey, Oak Tree, what's up, man? To clarify, though, being in close proximity to him plenty of times, he's never radiated this sort of fiendish connection before.
Mm-hmm.
He always played on the boundaries of your sense good and evil with, in the neutrals.
Yeah.
Of the colors bounding between, green and blue on the spectrum of good and evil.
Which I wouldn't be aware of.
No.
So, it might make sense that they would take his body to a place like this and protect it, prevent it from being manipulated or brought back or used by a puppet. Generally, the best policy is if the works of evil are going on, you pull the cogs out so it can't do whatever its goals are in the first place.
Aye, your word rings true.
But
Reiken was with her, and we saved the town.
we did, but we did the right thing. But Reiken had a very wrong way of doing those things. The type of magics and things he was playing with are highly volatile and dangerous. They taught us about it up north. Playing around with that kind of stuff is enough to get a man killed.
The way
And his secret was out. So, the question is, what are we going to do?
Well, methinks there are 3 options, at least, unless anyone else would like to suggest something else. We either open this, as Theolin has suggested, and see what's behind it. We leave, and let the church deal with whatever it is that may be here. or we go talk to the priest. Maybe they're hiding something from us, and maybe they do know it's here, and can tell us without us having to unleash anything.
Now, here's a question. Whatever this says, you're saying you could read it. Is this the type of, like, you know how spells have schools? Is this, like, yeah, it's holy, but is it the type of holy that might be used for some sort of warding or protection or anything like that?
The thing that just sticks out to me is sanctuary. Mentions that this is potentially a sanctuary in here.
Yeah, but isn't sanctuary more of a safe reserve, not really a cage?
Religious check.
Him or you?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Like looking at me.
Yeah, I'm looking at you because you could also do it.
Go for it, man.
What are you trying to figure out?
This word sanctuary.
Yeah, no, it's more or less applied as a safe haven or a repository of like important divine things, basically. Sanctuaries are, I mean, the term is, it's a space where you could be safe, but sometimes sanctuaries are used to hold relics or things of importance from outside influence.
Sanctuary.
The celestial
Yeah.
writing on the front doesn't indicate any sort of specific use, and it's not magical in any way, from what you can tell.
Alright.
It's not meant to be used as warding, it's just an indication, is all.
What does that say? As I point to the writing on the wall.
Again, it just speaks about how this is a sanctuary, a safe haven to keep outside forces out. Maybe this is a treasure room of holy relics. Don't go in there. Or maybe they're keeping something they don't want out.
Or does anybody know detect magic?
I walk up.
He who holds the stick.
He who holds the stick is the wizard.
Walks up. Anyone knows like magic? Well, I guess he who holds the stick is the wizard.
It's like on the door and the words and whatnot. Like, is this a ward? Because like they're trying to keep stuff out. This is pretty weak.
Theolin rubs his hands together and detects magic.
You don't detect any magic.
So, I've got good news and I've got bad news.
All right.
What do you want first?
Bad news.
Bad news.
Oh dear.
Always end on a high note.
Whatever's in there, there's no magic anyway. Good news, there's no magic in there, really. So, it's good or bad.
So it's neutral.
Exactly, that's why it's good and bad news.
We should open the door.
I'd say, now that we know there's not wards, let's, here, do this. You open the door and you stick your head in. You're the holiest of us all. If anyone is granted grace by Parathor himself, it is the dwarf who breathes life into those that fall.
Do you want me to like pick you up so you can get a better view?
There is no indication whatsoever that says that like it's not meant to be opened. It's just pretty plain text.
I'm gonna cast at second level Bless, which allows me to hit another person. So I'm gonna cast Bless on Lumi, Hargraves, myself, and Theolin. As I come around to you guys with some holy water. And you are...
What the hell? What the hell?
Well, before you go in there, you should be cleansed.
Oh,
As I
shit.
cast Bless on you guys, you should be alright.
Am I being cleared of my
He washes
sins?
his hands after he uses the restroom.
Yeah.
He's good.
Very fancy holy water.
Okay, so he casts Bless. What are you doing? This is kind of up to you. You either open the door or you don't. Really.
I kind of laugh. I kind of chuckle at the gesture for a second, and so I recognize the spell. And then, all right. Me will go in first.
You just suddenly see Lumi like do that shake.
Only lasts for a minute.
Me would like if you would step back, give me a little bit of room. If of course, me needs you, me will let you know.
Step back.
Yeah, we step back.
All right, step back, everyone.
I step
Let the
a
man do his
half
work.
a step back.
Slinging my shield, lantern in one hand, I'm going to open the door.
Okay. Yeah. So you open the door. It's fairly heavy. As you open it, you see that there's a chamber about maybe 10 by 10. In the center, there's a pedestal, and on the pedestal, there seems to be a large slab of white stone with more celestial writing on it. In each corner of the room, there seems to be a lit, burning, bluish, almost flame-like holy fire burning in these standing braziers in the corners. There seems to be several tomes and scripts and writing utensils kind of scattered about on the pedestal with holy water. There's incense and all sorts of trappings used in traditional worship and of holy, like consecrated items or relics. And then looking around the room, aside from that, it's especially plain, except on the far side there is a large circle, and on the large circle, like almost embossed in gold, there is the symbol of each one of the prime deities, including the dissenter gods on this ring. But you can also see that there looks to have been, it looks like there's maybe like charred or scorch marks of some sort in a language of some sort on this stone tablet.
Not in Celestial.
Not from this, you can't tell from this distance. You just see these strange, because it's well lit, you just see that there's these strange markings that seem to have like harmed or maimed this stone in some way.
So, slowly walking in, I would like to make sure that I'm the only one walking into this room, kind of like looking behind me every now and again. And then, first thing I want to do is the white slab that you said had Celestial on it.
Yeah.
Like anything on there that I'm like, oh.
Well, you thought it was Celestial, but it's actually not Celestial.
Oh,
You can't read it.
Okay.
And this isn't the one that's got like the burned words into it.
And it's the only thing there.
What's it? So what'd you see? What's it say? What's going on?
There's a slab. It's got words, not celestial.
What language do you think it might be?
May I do some sort of like intelligence check to see if I could?
You can make a history check to see if you
Awesome.
recognize the language.
Let's do that.
Like one letter.
Oh, that's a 19.
It's a good start.
That's a good start, and that's a history. You said 19.
It's very similar to Celestial because Celestial is derived from it. It's actually the language of the gods.
Fuck.
And the scratch markings and stuff you start to form you can see that there's a coherent pattern, and there's some arcane symbols that have been put on it. You can also tell there's some sort of other substance, like maybe it was done with a flame tracing something else.
So, can I take out some parchment and some charcoal and the symbols that keep like reoccurring stuff? Can I like take?
What
things of
Tell me
those?
what languages you read. You're
Goblin, Dwarvish, Common, and Celestial.
yeah, okay, yeah. So you don't recognize this whatsoever.
Yeah. So can I just take like rubbings?
Yeah.
Some of them.
Well, no, sorry, that's the wrong one. You can't read it, but you recognize it. It's fiendish. It's infernal.
Oh, okay. Then
If you can get me that, I can read it.
yeah. So there's two ways I go about this. Yeah.
All right. Does anyone speak Fiendish?
La 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 la.
Was that
Says
a
the
yes?
tabaxi.
I look at the cat. Was that a yes?
I
I don't even.
No.
Okay.
I just remember Reikens saying something like that.
You would remember him speaking Infernal.
I do. I speak unholy words.
Under my breath.
Thank the gods it's at least someone else who worships the Pantheon.
And I stride back out.
Yes.
All right. Only you.
I look at Alcafresh. Did the whole holy water, did that cleanse me of my sins?
Yeah. Yes.
I look at the door again, and I'm like, whoa! I'm a virgin again! Let's go in.
I lead him in, kind of like I want to take this step back, and I want to just look at you like.
No, I have that power.
I am the
You
Lord.
don't know what I do.
Yeah,
I have the authority
I'm the law.
bestowed upon me by the High Marshal of the Holy Kingdom of Bravadis.
Yeah.
I lead him in.
I
Listen,
walk in.
Taylor does what she wants, okay? Yeah, so you see the same room, the way it's already been described. Nothing has changed.
I walk in, and I go
Yep.
to this horribly... This is horribly bad. I attempt to read it.
Okay. It doesn't say anything. It's all symbols.
So portrays
Do these
something.
symbols mean anything?
They're used in magic.
Ooh. What type of magic are these symbols normally used in?
School of Magic?
Make a history check.
All right.
Here we go.
Can't believe you just said that to me.
13.
She said
13? You're not really sure. It's like a generalized ritual, possibly like a transmutation magic.
Oh my god.
Oh
What are you on right now?
my. Catnip.
Yeah, catnip.
Oh my god.
So
She's on the power of Bay. No.
So this white slab is the one that has the symbols of the gods in it, right?
No. That's on the wall in the back of the room.
Thank you.
Embossed in gold, like gold leafed. The symbols. The white slab has the language. It's a large section of running text.
Oh, okay.
That's just repeating symbols for transmutation magic, to my understanding, correct?
I'm sorry, what part?
The running text part. Or is that
No.
different? Oh.
You don't recognize that language at all.
Oh, shit.
You've never seen it before.
So the symbols that are burned in,
Those are the infernal ones.
they're infernal. They're transmutation, I believe. There's not a language to them. They're all just written. They're
Well,
for
they're
magic.
symbols.
They're symbols of magic. If I were to hazard a guess, again, I'm not a wizard. I hold the stick, but I'm not that. I don't hold that big of a stick.
Thou does not hold the staff.
Somebody got it. Yes, it's for transmutation. He changed something in here. Whoever did this, he or she. If this, I don't imagine this being here.
Or transferred something.
Transferred something. I don't imagine that was here from. I don't believe anyone priesty would do something like this.
Yes. Something about this doesn't sit well.
I go to Hargraves.
I'm outside. Yeah.
You're like outside that chamber.
Yeah.
Now that the door's open, you can smell the blood way stronger.
Yes.
I absolve you of your sins and whatnot. Get in there. I deputize you just for a little bit.
I deputize you.
But why? Why do you want me in
You
there?
said you smelled something earlier.
Yeah, it's way stronger now that they've opened the door. I'm surprised they haven't seen it, whatever it is.
I was like, you're my little evil
blood?
magnet detecting
No.
machine. Get in there. I pat you on your giant Goliath shoulder.
All right, so I start following the scent entering the room.
It's definitely coming from within the room.
So I'm going to try and track down where I'm smelling that smell from.
The floor.
The floor.
Everywhere on the floor.
Everywhere on the floor?
Yep.
Is the floor in here clean
Yes,
and stuff
it's
like
clean.
everywhere else?
Yep.
I'd like
It
to...
smells like it was whatever it was covered up with like holy anointments and oils and the and an attempt to
Clean it.
clean it.
There's been blood in here recently. And I want to get down and look. So I'm guessing there's a stone floor, so there's creases and
No,
stuff?
there's not. It's a solid slab. Actually.
Oh, it's a solid slab.
Singular, just flat.
What about towards the edges of the room? Is there like a crease?
there's creases where the stone meets.
Yeah.
Obviously,
And
it's not perfect.
Yeah, but any scent of blood from there? Like maybe I can like scrape. I'm trying to scrape
Not
out some
enough that it
evidence.
would stand out in any other particular way, just through smell.
There's been blood all over this room, man. But it's been covered up and clean.
Which means that people knew about this. If I were to hazard a guess, someone might have been sacrificed here.
Make a history check real quick for me.
7.
One
Seven.
more and we're going
Is it
down.
flat 7? Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding, right? Gonna go play some blackjack, go win us some new cameras.
7's the house number.
You faintly feel like there's this familiarity in the back of your mind, like you were somewhere where a room in this texture, you for some reason feel like you have seen something of this architectural design before. Very recently, within the last few months, there's just something there nagging at you about the design of this room. Like the coloration of the stone, the work, the holy symbols, and the celestial. There's something about it just really strikes a chord with your memory, but you can't place exactly what it is.
Is the stone of any similarity to the Book of Taylor?
Yes.
Huh.
You can tell it's not the exact same material, but the book was definitely graphed and designed in a way to imitate this particular material just by looking at it.
Okay, awesome.
We should sit by the door.
It doesn't
Wagging
seem
your
like
tail.
we're finding any answers here.
Well, methinks the answers either lie with the priest or whoever did this, and I motion at the fiendish.
I'd like to walk up to all the gold symbols of the.
Yeah.
And you said there's all of them,
Yep.
including the evil ones. You said
Well, they're not evil per se; they're dissenters.
dissenters. And who are those ones?
You have a packet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they
They're
were
in
the
the
same ones.
packet.
I didn't know if they were the same ones in the packet. Cool.
Midway through, it gets bad.
It's,
It gets bad.
It's,
That's true.
Here you go, evil gods.
The dissenters.
May I interest you in a pamphlet?
Yeah.
I recommend the front. The back gets a little sketchy. I go to Lumi. Lumi, I
On
absolve
any
you.
of the dissenters, is there any extra markings
No,
or
you deputize.
anything?
No.
Get in there.
Hi.
I would like to gently run my hand across Taiki, offering a quick little prayer of my own.
Okay.
Before I just. There's got to be something else. I feel like we're missing something.
The mouse.
Probably.
What are we missing?
Yeah, where did that mouse go?
Deeper down the hall.
It's in the room somewhere. There's tapestries and books stacked in all sorts of paper and just discarded scrolls and stuff. The room is. There's really not a ton of room to walk without having to step over something.
Is there any desk or table?
No, there's no desk or table. There's one standing podium that has a book on it.
I would like to go to the podium with the book on it.
Uh-huh.
What is the book?
It's a log of study, basically.
What's the last log say?
The last log, it more or less repeats because they haven't been able to figure out what this says from what you can tell, hundreds of years.
Oh, they're trying to solve the big writing?
Yeah.
Solas.
Oi.
They've, so I know what this room was for, I think. They're studying that, as I point, is the huge amount of text. Whatever that is.
Right, well, it's,
And as you told me, minus the fiendish writing, it's like the language of the gods, right?
Yeah.
right, well, it's either an obelisk or some sort of text from the gods, or written by the gods, or written in that language.
Does the fiendish write over it?
Yeah. It's on the top of it.
It's burned over it.
Yeah.
So, I walk up to Solus. So, we have a god tablet,
Aye,
giant god tablet,
aye.
with etched in transmutation symbols.
Burned it.
Burned in. So, assuming that this is a god tablet, it does something.
Potentially.
and whatever it did is now changed.
Upon investigating and trying to look for fresh blood or places where you could probably try to find some, which you don't, the room was cleaned very thoroughly, and you can
like even the papers.
Whatever, if anything was covered in blood, it was removed and destroyed. But you pick up now, like as you get closer to the tablet, there's a smell of brimstone, a faint waft of brimstone coming from the tablet.
What's a brimstone?
Sulfur.
Sulfur.
I may have a theory that.
Remember, you don't smell that.
No, I'm talking about the runes from earlier when you told me that.
I just want Alex to give him a chance to act on
I'm
this.
sorry. Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look around this tablet where the smell's coming from.
Yeah, it's coming from it. You smell
Just
it. You
directly from
you
it.
You touch where it looks like it's burned on, and it smudges. And then you smell it, and it's definitely sulfur. There's a fiendish magical residue left on it, for sure. Do you read fiendish?
No,
Or infernal? Sorry.
No, I do not.
That's too bad.
That's man, you're missing out.
You recognize the text though as infernal. You just can't read it.
I've studied, but I'm not fluent.
This semester abroad didn't handle infernal. I handled Elvish. Thank you.
I do have Elvish.
But
I know.
what do you smell, Hargraves?
It's brimstone. There's almost like an electricity to this. Residual magic.
Lonnie Lightning, what's up, man? With the gifted tier 1 subs.
Ooh, yeah.
Jeez,
Thank you so
Lonnie.
much, man. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Lonnie.
Awesome. How's it going, Lonnie? Hope you're having a great day. I know this is one of your non-stream days, so hopefully you're chillaxing. You said it's one of your drinking days, so you can imagine what's going on there.
Hopefully you're drinking your preferred drink.
Yeah, hopefully Mrs. Lightning is cool too. You guys chilling. We appreciate having you drop in. We love you.
Your relationship's electric.
It's electrifying.
Electrified.
Danger, high voltage.
High voltage.
But I think I'm just guessing here that whatever was in here used transmutation. These
He's showing us off at the bar.
Nice.
Transmutation symbols.
Well, we appreciate it.
etched
Hopefully they like
on
it.
The stone to transfer what's on it to something else. Normally it's used to change, but this looks like it was used to take what was on it and send it somewhere. Someone received what was on this tablet, is my guess. And maybe someone was in here and died for it.
Just in case, I'm just by the door because I want to check to see if other people are gonna come on in.
No, you haven't heard a thing.
I'm gonna try and take a history check with advantage in relation to fiendish activity, because it's one of my blood hunter expertise.
Do it.
And I would like to, putting together all the aspects of this ritual, I'd like to see if in my studies I came across anything similar or that might strike a chord in relation to what's going on here. Based on what he said, the blood sacrifice.
Can I
Sure, go ahead.
Can I give him advantage?
I already
just
do.
because
He already has advantage.
Cool. I didn't know if you already had it, so I just wanted to double check. Here.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Take this.
D20s.
Oh no, Alex is rolling dice. Run for cover.
Run, God. It's slipped out of my hand.
It's Mike
My
2.0.
finger.
Oh shit.
Let me see. History. I can't read apparently. 18.
18?
Yeah.
I
have advantage, but I'm not very smart.
Not particularly. This seems like whatever it was, it seems as if the incantation and the positioning of it is it's very powerful magic. Very, very outside of the realm of what normal low-level devils and cultists would be able to accomplish. it has something in there when you're looking at its composition that's very worrying to you. There's actually a rune that you recognize from a book back in Errol Dune that's very similar, used in the very similar ritual that gives you your powers as a blood hunter.
Oh.
It normally works as some sort of mechanism or placeholder for a transfer of something.
Oh, shit.
This is just bad juju.
Yeah, this is really... I'm sure it's obvious to everyone with the god language and the runes and the gold and the hidden... This is very powerful magic. I can't say exactly what happened, but this is no mere cultist or imp or something like that. This is far superior and way out of my field of study. I think you're right, Theolin. There's something transferred, something exchanged. I recognize a couple of these runes, and all it tells me is nothing good happened here.
Can I roll
You can do whatever you want.
history check with advantage to see, since the book was kind of made to resemble this stone, is this stone perchance, maybe Elysium? Or a piece of Elysium or anything? This stone,
Make a
this
check.
tablet, and with advantage and stuff.
It's like the rest of the room's mimicking it, but it's just
21.
shit.
It's made from a similar material.
I'm going to spend a minute changing out one of my spells.
Okay.
In prayer. Over by the gold symbols.
Okay.
That are, from what I can tell, not tainted.
No.
And I'm going to change out one of my spells to Detect Evil and Good.
Okay.
And then I cast that. I cast Detect Evil and Good.
Yeah, you detect everybody else's aura in the room, but nothing coming from the tablet.
Nothing coming from the tablet.
A minor whiff of red through black in small waves associated with the writing directly that traces as an outline as you look at it.
It seems the priests cleaned this up, right? Whatever this was. They know what happened, and they also covered up, I'm sure, significant details of what this ritual involved. So, it seems like to get more answers, we're going to have to drag some of them out of bed. Now, Solas, how do you feel about talking to your fellow men of the cloth, as it were?
Me would like to take the lead on that.
You know what? Go right ahead.
So, I'm going to make a move to leave the room, but before that, can I snag a little bit of that holy fire, that bluish holy fire that's super fucking cool, and for
religious purposes.
Yes, I would like to put it in my lantern.
Like, does it blue flame?
Yeah.
And how do you plan on accomplishing transferring it?
Well, as a basic adventurer with an explorer's kit, I would like to take a torch and light the torch, and then...
The torch does not light.
Oh my goodness.
I ran into something like this in another temple here as I pull out one of my candles.
Your religious candles?
One of my religious candles. Try this.
Yeah. Your keyword, religious.
I will.
Keyword religious.
Yep.
It's a catch-all for religion.
Because they, unlike normal candles, these cost way more.
Yeah. So it's like Yankee Doodle.
Yeah, so now I have less.
I'd like to...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd like to try the religious candle. The religious.
Yeah, that works.
Ah, cool.
Catch a small bit of flame.
Seeing that, I'd like to pull out mine too, and I would like to light the one stupid holy thing I have from our adventure in stupid places. And I would like to walk up to this tablet and see. I don't put the flame onto the tablet, but I want to see if the flame does anything while being near the tablet.
No, there's no reaction specifically.
Sorry, Solus. Sorry, I was just curious.
It's okay. This place, as holy and guarded as it may be, it seems any of us can just stroll in here and do whatever we want.
We've all been
We've all been cleaned of our sins, though. We're all better for it.
Yes.
We're making all new ones now.
Yeah.
You're all been cleaned and you're all virgins.
I'm gonna come in.
You didn't tell me that's how this worked.
What are you doing?
Now that I'm curious about what's going on, I want to come in and scoop some of the paperwork that's on the floor.
Like, take it or just look, like, peruse through it and look at it?
Pick it up while I look at it.
She's just like, yeah.
Most of it is very uninteresting and just religious, what you would consider just garbage. Garbled.
Trash.
It's trash.
Trash.
I collect.
Nothing is really important to you.
I collect.
Okay.
Hearing the rustling of papers, and after just saying what I did, I'm just gonna like motion. Just gonna
Okay. Well, they didn't do a very good job of cleaning this. Because I'm going to use one of my vials of holy water. I'm going to splash it on the...
Wait! Before you do, let me try to redraw them so we have them down.
You don't need to copy that garbage.
I
You
try
should
to copy it as fast as I
You should
can.
copy the text underneath it.
I try to copy it as fast as I can while he trounces it.
Yeah, you tried, but I mean, water goes faster than you can write. So, like, you start going and it splashes on it, but unfortunately, none of it comes off.
None of it comes off,
Nope.
even with the holy water.
Even with the holy water.
Fun.
Well, I really dig into it with a cloth then.
I mean, it's going nowhere. Like, you keep smudging it and it's running off, and you can see, like, the water getting dirty, but it's just not going away.
Was I able to light my lantern with the blue flame up? Like after I took
No,
the
you were
candle?
not.
What the fuck?
No, you were not.
That's really aggravating right there. I'm going to storm off towards the priest.
This
That's hunted now.
This is very much a sphere of annihilation sort of stubbornness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke it.
It's like, how many D what for damage? Well, I want to try again.
God, I got laid
I want to
out.
bottle it.
Yeah.
For those who are not aware, in a previous campaign, we tried to harvest what was a sphere of annihilation.
Yeah, I poked it first with a sword and got exploded into a wall, and then his other character walks up.
I want to
Catch it
bottle
in the
that.
vial,
The
yeah.
fucking
I want
boom!
some.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just like, yeah, don't touch that now.
Yeah. Try not to leave you guys out on inside jokes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, so I storm off towards the priest quarters, carrying my
You
new
guys,
candles.
are you guys all leaving and closing the doors? Everything up the way it was?
I
I'm going to
would
stay.
like a last attempt to try and find them out.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Yes, please.
See if you can
I'm gonna
hear where it's
stay
at.
Alfarius.
I fully plan on dragging the priest back here.
Yeah.
Show us.
24.
You catch your work.
You find it. It's just minding its own business in a stack of books.
Does the mouse have any blood?
Yeah.
He tried,
No.
and
Did the
No, it
mouse?
doesn't.
Did the mouse bathe in the blood of the innocent?
Yeah, exactly. Are you a demon?
Are you a demon in disguise? Well, kill it.
Well, you found me. It's about time.
Now you're it.
as a heads up, Astral, we use Matt Mercer's rules for reviving people, where you have to roll a d10 with other circumstances.
No, you have to roll a
DC
d20 with a DC 10 check,
Oh.
plus one for every time they've been previously
Thank you.
revived, in order to represent the slow dissolving connection of the soul to its body and the material plane as the veil becomes more and more difficult to cross back over.
Unfortunately, the fates decided that the roll was to be a natural one.
To equal 4,
Still,
which is below 10.
still below 10.
Matt.
Well, seeing how the mouse is
The
okay.
real villain is Matt.
Mouse seems fine.
Mouse is okay. I still watch it for a little bit. You know, my pupils going bigger
Yeah.
just to ensure that it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
And
Okay. So you guys head back upstairs, and
He was gonna stay.
you were going to stay?
Yeah, I'm going to spend a minute to change out yet again another spell.
Oh, tree things for the
Well, you guys can just wait for the minute then.
But then,
There's been plenty of time.
Yeah.
but then my next spell is going to take an hour.
And
It's a
I'll
ritual.
give you
I'm
100
going to
bits if you
cast
kill that mouse.
Ceremony,
Mm.
which is and under atonement, you touch one willing creature whose alignment has changed and make a DC 20 Wisdom Insight check. On a successful check, you restore the target to its original alignment. I know it's not a creature, but I can do anything I want, so I'm going to do that.
That's true. And you're going to do it to what?
The stone tablet and the writing. I'm going to try and change it back.
Okay. So you stay down there. you guys head back upstairs. The priest has already gathered some of the initiates, woken up, and the daily activities and worship of the gods. They are in groups, clearing some of the altars and the alcoves in the main chamber of worship, and some of them have begun preparing breakfast and their morning duties. And you find him and a couple of other initiates in the primary chamber. And he sees you come back. So was it? You were down there for a little bit. Did it satisfy your curiosity?
Yeah. Tell me again. Just short-term memory. What's down there?
A crypt?
Right.
A crypt.
Have you been down there?
Have I been down into the crypt?
Yes.
I did, and so did several other initiates in order to bury the high priest.
See, the initiates told us that they weren't allowed down there first, so that seems a little weird. However,
underneath the guidance of a priest, yes.
Right. Well, do you mind just joining me down there for a moment?
We're in the middle of procession, and we expect our first morning patrons for worship. I don't really have time to explore the crypt with you.
It'll only take a minute, and me would think that any priest of Parathor would want to know if anything is going on underneath his church.
Well, it's not my church. We await our high priest's arrival from Lior.
And until the high priest arrives, who is...
It's under stewardship, technically, but it's not mine. As we all know, this ground belongs to Parathor. It doesn't even belong to the worshippers.
Why it does?
I assume if you have any real concerns of anything, then you understand that if Parathor wanted it, then that's the way it is.
I'm going to step off for religion.
Thank you for your time.
Yes. Sorry I couldn't have been more help.
What are you doing? Tell me.
You're distracting everyone already.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say it.
What was...
Reikens' notes, his infernal book,
Oh, shit.
Something to help you translate is what you just thought of magically.
his book of
Remembering about all the crap
His
Reikens
Devils
does on
for
a daily
Dummies?
basis when it comes to Infernal, I start rummaging through his Infernal notes, and I look for his...
For what?
Um,
What are you looking for?
I am looking for...
You would remember way back in the beginning, Reiken got a book of Devils for Dummies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I reach in to grab that.
Huh?
To see if maybe it's got some of the rituals and sigils on that might come up.
So yeah, it's a standard Demonomicon.
Demonomicon.
It has descriptions of various hierarchies or supposed hierarchies of Hell and or of Baator and of the Abyss, and the names of some of the greater devils and greater demons that have been encountered. Exercised in general over the thousands of years since the beginning of Terrowyn, from what you can see. But it's not an original. It's a compilation of authored work put together elsewhere.
And while you're reaching in the bag, going, I just need some more Reiken shit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Reiken's stuff, trying to pull it out, see if there's any extra notes or anything else that he left behind, just because I know what he was tied to.
It's a lot of information. It's going to take you more than just opening
Moments.
it and scanning it for what you're looking for.
Alright.
He has several books relating to demonology, devils, and that sort of resulting research. Also on Fae and other interesting creatures as well as Celestials.
And an envelope.
And an envelope.
I pull out the envelope.
Envelope.
Plain envelope just says, to be read upon my death.
Shit. I open it. Oh, yes, read it.
Yeah,
Everyone's afraid of Chuck Norris. And we're going to get right back to that after we take a short break, because I need to use the restroom.
Oh, but what does it say?
What does it say? We may never know.
What does it all mean?
I'm totally going to
Basil?
take a break during the break.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Lonnie Lightning. Once again, man, we really appreciate the gifted subs. Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hall of Legends, man. Join us.
Welcome.
Join us. Become
Inscribe
one of
your
us.
tales on the walls.
Inscribe your tales in the tomes and recount us, regale us with your wonderful stories of heroism and epicness. There's lots of them. I see them in Rainbow Six all the fucking time. They're fucking flicks, bro. Tell us all about them. Love it.
And definitely thank you for the bits, Oak Tree.
Yeah, thank you for the bits.
We really appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
Sorry your dad had to crash. Work is hard. That's why they call it work.
Yeah, thank you, everybody else who's joining us, hanging out. Tibbs, congratulations on your job. Malachi, all the regulars. We appreciate you guys spending time with us in general.
Astral Diamond, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to drop us a quick follow. Even in our jump into our Discord, connect with us, talk to us about all of our nerdy passions, and don't forget to hit us up on our Twitter, social media, so that you can keep up to date with our musings and ongoings with the show. Special events like our birthday one shot that we did last Saturday, which was run by Alex, it was all right, you know.
Yeah, it went okay.
It was good.
Okay. There was a session, so
If good is the low benchmark, it was there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We had
That's
red
not
hats.
bad. It just means that's where it is, you know? Yeah, you
That
had
was
red
the
hats.
best.
We had red hats.
Yeah.
It
There
was
was
great.
red hats. There was
Yeah.
props.
Yeah, there was
It was
props.
amazing. That was
Two
first.
props. It was two props. But yeah, we appreciate you hanging out with us. We're going to take a quick little 15-minute intermission, and we're going to be right back to it with Matt reading his character's will. I'm going to call it a will.
Yeah,
Last
fuck it.
Testament.
Last
Whatever.
Testament. That's
Last-
definitely Last Testament.
Last Testament. Maybe he's going to
Last-
come clean about all the fucked up shit he's done.
I'm actually a terrible person. I was planning on murdering you all anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They already told us that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
there it is.
Let's
Not
be
really a
real.
secret.
He
Yeah,
was
the
up
Gnome
front about
Brothers.
that.
Exactly, Oak Tree. So, we're getting shadows to join the gifted sub. Well, enjoy those emotes because there's more being worked
You
on.
guys got 3
Yeah, there are.
We have two. We earned two. We actually, with those 2 gifted subs, I think we're 2 points away from a 5th emote, tier 1 emote at this point. So,
Man.
thank you, Lonnie, for helping us
Yeah.
get closer, ever closer to that goal. So we appreciate it. So we're gonna be right back. So don't go anywhere. Well, you can go places. Just come back.
Yeah.
Come
back.
Just come back. Yeah, be here
Keep
when
this
we come
window
back.
open.
Don't leave. Don't leave me.
Ow.
Because
Console.
Oblivion was better.
That doesn't matter.
Sure does. It totally matters.
Right.
They
Take that
scaled
note.
it. They scaled it way too down. The sandbox got way smaller for Skyrim.
Yeah, the sandbox got smaller,
Yeah.
but everything was simpler, so even the commoners could understand how skills work.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
That is true. It was more user friendly.
Yeah, it's more user friendly. You didn't have to know math or complex algorithms to build a character.
Just get a sweet mod list and play it again. Do it.
And again. And again. Oh god, it never stops.
You make making characters too complex if you're doing math. I was just like, well, yeah, human's cool. Click. Sword and board. Yeah, sure. Click.
Oh, their number of skills was crazy.
Night.
Good night.
How dare you leave me?
No,
How
I'll
dare
try.
you? They're all going to be happy about it, but you know what, Tibbs? I'm going to remember this. How dare you leave me here?
No.
Andy will remember this.
Yeah.
I still saw the text.
Welcome to the top of the list.
Oh
What list is this? Am I on the list?
You're always on the
Yeah,
list. guy.
everybody's on this list.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
so I
of
can
you.
get in.
For one fraction or another, one slide or another, you guys are all on this list.
I'm included. Andy's a quarter dwarf.
Believe me,
on
this
his
isn't the
mother's
kind of
side.
list that's you want to be on.
It's like your list of grudges, like a dwarven list of grudges.
I like to call it hit list, but yeah, grudges, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a shit list.
No,
No,
hit
no.
list. No S. Just. Anyways, welcome back. So back to what we were doing, as Matt was about to read his last will and testament from Reikens, and then I cut him off because
He's cruel.
nature calls,
Yeah.
and nature always wins. So,
That's fair.
Everyone will be happy.
go ahead and read.
Oh, that's why you brought your glasses.
No, I just these are new. You know.
That's why you're cool. They're calling out Alex, you piece of crap.
I don't need them.
That makes
wear
it
the
worse.
glasses. You look stylish.
That makes you a fraud.
Oh man.
You're a phony.
You're a phony.
All right, I need them.
That's-
To my allies.
Best friends.
Allies. If you're reading this, I'm dead. Lilith is not done with you. You should know. You should know that. And you should know that I had almost no knowledge about her plans for me or her greater plans beyond that. I took her deal, sight unseen, while she held me in the agony of my death. Now that I'm gone, you should know the story. I was killed at Fort Breckert. I had taken my men, the Red Feather Mercenaries, to root out a group of orcs who refused to lay down arms after the Orc Wars, and were pillaging throughout the Vale. We'd been tracking them for weeks when we learned that they had occupied the fortress. We got there and the place seemed abandoned. I led my men in, trying to find any other clues to where they might be. It was an ambush, of course. The orcs somehow had acquired explosives, and when me and my men were in the courtyard, they sprung the trap. The explosion killed me. I felt every moment with perfect clarity as a piece of steel passed through my skull. It entered under my eye and out the back of my head. Lilith held me in that moment for an eternity. I felt the searing hot metal inside of me burning, tearing, crushing. She whispered to me that she could stop the pain and save me or keep me in this moment forever. She broke me, and I begged for it to end. I said that I would do anything. When I woke, all of my men were dead. All of the orcs were dead. I was covered in mud and blood. The orcs seemed to be torn apart by a beast. When I pulled myself from the ground, Amarith was there. She took me away and sheltered me and nursed me back to health. She showed me how to harness my new connection and started me down the path of learning who my patron was, which led me to you all. When Lilith first revealed herself, I tried to push back against her will. I dared her to kill one of you, just to see if she really could. To Alpha, I'm sorry for that, but I had to know how much leverage I had. After that day, I saw her often, I heard her often. She made sure to remind me that I had no leverage and no choice. She has the souls of my family held hostage in hell. Now that I'm dead, though, there's no saving them. One more failure to add to a long list. She also threatened the one living family member I had left. One of my sisters is still alive in Suan. I couldn't let her come to harm by defying the devil, so I didn't. I completed a ritual for her in the basement of the temple in Greencrest. I murdered the high priest and used his blood to tarnish the relic they kept down there. I don't even know what the purpose of the ritual was. I only know that I was to repeat it in other locations, on other relics throughout the land. And when it was done, I was to be rewarded. Clearly I didn't finish, but someone will. Lilith implied to me that she had been following me my entire life. She altered memories and influenced my choices from the very beginning. I don't know if the terrible things I did were my choice or Lilith's influence, but it really doesn't matter. At a certain point, I became exactly what she needed. A ruthless, self-centered killer. So I am sure that many of the evils I committed were completely mine. I did them outside of her influence, and now my sins have caught up to me. That's the most important parts of the story. So now, some final wishes, I suppose.
Yay.
Take whatever is left of my share of the gold and spend it on the manor. It's a shithole, but it could be something great with time and care. As for my share of the treasures, distribute them amongst yourselves as you see fit. Sell what you don't want and split the earnings amongst yourselves as well. Do not try and bring me back. Surely that will only invite trouble from Lilith. Do not go anywhere near my sister in Suwan. Do not contact her in any way. Me being dead is the safest thing for her, and being closer to you means being closer to the devil. Most important, help Amarith to fight Lilith. She would not share the details of her pact or her patron, or why they were interested in my fate, and I suspect it is because they knew that Lilith could learn anything that I knew. I'm certain that Amarith and her patron are working directly against Lilith. Last, if I'm right, even though I'm gone, you'll see me again, and I won't be myself. I will likely be completely unrecognizable. This is just a suspicion, but the next time we meet, it will be as foes. I know that you all have a very different view on the world than I did, but I hope some of the things I said stuck. I know that I could be harsh and cruel, but truly, I did want to leave the world better than I found it. Too bad life doesn't care about what you want. One last lesson. Good luck. You'll need it. Aaron.
So, after reading through his letter out loud, and kind of reminiscing over the things that he has said, and trying to reevaluate the impact that he had on your lives as a party and as a group, and in certain circumstances, kind of keeping you all together, it resonates as you kind of get not the whole picture, but a slightly broader understanding of his connection to Lilith and what it is that was happening. And with the letter being read, you now completely understand what happened underneath the temple and why it is the way it is.
Reikens gone.
Yes. It appears our friend is gone. And if what he said, what if he has written is to be believed, Lilith has him now. Lilith has him now. And his fear might be realized that we may see him again as enemies. Maybe by then, we might be strong enough. Is this off? Testing, can you hear me? Is it too low? Is that the problem? Hello?
I don't know, man.
I'm just letting it see.
Another guy!
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now I can hear it.
Oak tree.
Here's me. Sorry. I've read.
Reading is hard.
It is!
Reading Rainbow.
Seems like it's on the quiet. Might as well just do it now.
Mic check, Mike.
Mike
Stop. It's not used to you talking so low.
This is my hell.
Yeah. Mike?
But hopefully, if he says we are to be foe, maybe we'll be strong enough then.
Malachi says much better.
Perfect. Maybe we'll be strong enough then that we can change fate and alter the strands and bring him back.
That's a great idea. Sorry.
Continue.
I agree.
Well, didn't the letter say he didn't want to be brought back?
We're bringing him back. We're turning him back.
Okay.
He
Possibly.
means if he's an enemy, we might be in a place where we can do something about it, but
If the
that's
time
a fool's
changes.
errand.
Well, don't you start this astral. Don't hurt me.
What?
Mike?
You're all evil. You're all evil creatures. At least we know what happened now. Now the question is, what does it do? What does that ritual that was performed down there do?
Well, it sounds like they need more. So, if this is the only one he's been able to hit, it'll delay whatever. Lilith has planned.
Lilith probably has more. As Reikens said, he's not the only one.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Go out to numerous holy sites, stand guard, swear our lives for an eternity until we die, and then she just outwaits us?
No. But we should at least think about hunting down Amareth. Letting her know he is no longer with us. And what her next course of action might be.
Where even is Emereth?
I have not the faintest clue.
wanna
I
do
do, but I'm not there.
Yeah, you're dead. I mean, you're in a hole. Sorry.
He's down in a hole.
I want to do a history check. I felt like Amareth mentioned before she was
Sure, go
bugged
ahead,
with
make a roll.
me
Go ahead.
that she was going
Make a roll.
somewhere.
Make a roll. Make a roll.
Ooh.
Faster.
Ooh.
4.
She's in bravadis.
Getting answers.
So
Real
I think
answers.
I think before she didn't like me hanging around her,
Straight
and
to the point.
finding out about her, storybooks. I think she said she was going to provide.
Well, then,
She needed to access the great library of the Temple of Mercy.
Bit to say.
Mercy.
Mercy.
As we say in Paladin.
Mercy.
Mercy.
Well, seems like interrogating the clergy is unnecessary now. So the real question is, what are we doing? I'm guessing we're going to go help you, Theolin, to save your girl.
yes. I felt like this in fiendish behavior to presidents.
Well, yeah, of course, but we've somewhat sorted that out.
And then, what do we do with the Grey Jacks?
Tell them where we find them.
A voice from hell says, kill them all.
They wanted war, and Reikens was willing to fight it and stand up against it. And it cost him his life. But I agree with him. I do. I'm just worried about the friends he might make in Marseille. There's powerful people there. People with pockets so deep
Yeah, that makes sense.
that they do not care.
So what, you want to skip over your missing friend and march all the way down to Marseille or up to Marseille?
I would
Maps on.
prefer
Across.
not to.
Across.
I'll be
Marseille
honest,
sits on the coast.
I need to go help my friend. She's not even a friend. She feels like my sister more than anything else. I need to save her. And I'm worried. Normally when she's off gallivanting around, I trust her skills. But to be missing for that long has me worried.
Could we not make some friends of our own? powerful allies.
We are the guardians of the veil. So
The veil, though wide, is a little limited.
then let's be the guardians of the world.
No, I'm not buying. I'm not buying. It's cheesy platitudes and all. We're talking about a serious matter.
And I am as well. The feats we do with each other. Look at it this way. We saved Greencrest. We took down the Tower of Night. And we fought so many beasts. So many evil things. I'm not saying that overnight we'll become great. I'm just saying that through our actions as heroes, and those that guard those that cannot be guarded, we will gain allies and friends that will fight with us, just like in our battle against the Tower of Night. People that didn't have to fight stepped up and fought with us, for us, and for those that needed it. And I feel that that's a start.
I think we need to build a battle strategy which we can work on while we go save your friend.
I appreciate that. Now let's go get our big dragon currently shelved away.
Solas, you've been kind of quiet over there. Hey, Solas!
Yeah.
Sorry your friend killed the priest of your faith. Someone should say it.
As we stated the night prior, me held no good feelings for Reikens.
Completely understand.
So, it's not really a surprise.
Yeah. In light of recent revelations, justified.
Justified.
Whoa, he was like a
New
hostage.
show premiering along the same timeline as Paladins.
Justified.
Good show.
I would recommend it.
It's a good show. Thank you.
Well,
Clericu makes his own rules.
I'm ordained, goddammit.
You're reckless!
Reckless.
I'd take your holy symbol if you weren't so goddamn good.
You're a loose cannon.
I do have one question for us. If I were to try to write some of what is written on that tablet down, so that way in our travels we might have someone who knows more decipher a line or two of it.
I'm sorry. Or me, sorry. Decipher the language of the gods.
Yes.
Do you see the troves of books and scrolls they have down there?
And I'm pretty sure they haven't talked to druids that have been alive for millennia. Or elves that have been alive for thousands of years as well. While we are strong and we have met many, I'm sure there's people out in this world that know more than we will ever forget. Now, I'm not saying to decipher all of it. I'm just saying like a sentence. If they can read a sentence, we may find out exactly what their plan is. But I'm not going to do it without your permission.
Look,
Yes.
at this point, it does not matter to me. The site has already been desecrated.
And the less we desecrate it, the better. I don't want to desecrate more than already been desecrated.
Blood was stained. It has been burned over.
And it's still a bloody holy relic. Just because something is tarnished, burnt, and different doesn't make it any less important.
If you think you can find someone who can decipher it, go for it. But me thinks you will not.
I completely understand. With that, I close the letter and just kind of whisper a brief, though, thank you, you conniving bastard. I appreciate you. And I head down to the lower regions to
The basement.
The basement to meet with Alfarius again and see if he's magically made light. I don't know. Things happen. He was doing things when I left, so I'm assuming he's doing great things.
Just magic it.
Who would come in? Did you magic it? Oh, sweet, beautiful.
So, they're not honestly gone long enough for you to do an hour ritual. They're gone like 5 minutes.
Just enough to be annoying.
Yeah, just enough to be on. But then Theolin comes back, and you're still in the middle of attempting your ritual. So what do you want to do?
So it takes 25 GP of powdered sugar. Not sugar, silver. I don't know why I'm saying sugar. Yeah, sugar.
Someone's thinking about fucking waffles or something.
Yeah.
Over there. French toast.
I usually don't talk about like silver like that, so I was like, talk about sugar all the time.
I mean, you are a dragonborn,
Yeah.
so you know, like silver and
Sweet. Delicious.
Yeah, it's good.
You don't put it in your drinks?
You know,
It's
ingredients. It's better to do it by weight.
You know, nothing beats like a nice cold lemonade with like a gold
You never
coin
defined
dropped in it. You know?
in our pre-session. We never defined what sugar actually was, so it could be silver.
Yeah.
But that's dragonborn logic.
That's fair.
But I'm taking the powdered silver, aka what I like to call sugar, because this is sweet.
If you put powdered silver on a donut, will it kill a werewolf?
It would. It fucking would.
Give me an upset stomach, that's for sure.
And I'm just I'm retracing over all the
Powdered sugar components sound like gnomish magic.
yeah.
It's blackberry with a dab of maple syrup and some sugar and lightning bolts.
We're that damn Keebler family.
I know.
It's delicious, brother. Taste the fire.
Welcome to the boneyard. That fire's meant for the oven.
So,
But I'm gonna retrace it over all the not the infernal sigils and markings, but over all the celestial sigils instead.
okay.
And really, I'm gonna re-engrave this bad boy.
Okay. There seems to be some sort of reaction to the ritual, but it's not the desired result that you're really looking for.
Yeah.
There seems to be almost an attempt to like almost jumpstart its divine nature again, but whatever happened to it was too devastating to its divine power. It's gone, or you're just not really sure. But whatever it was bad. So try as you might, praying as hard as you can, as much focus as you can on it, you can't seem to get it, like restore it to what it once was.
Well, coming to the conclusion of it, we gotta make almost an impossible check. It's a DC 20 Wisdom Insight check to change it, and I got a +1 to that.
10%? 10% chance.
10%. Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, 5. 6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you described.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stop. It's, what was here is gone.
I found this. I'll offer you Reikens' letter and allow you to read it.
I'll get to it in time. How many words is it?
I mean, it's like a page and a half.
I'll read this later. Yeah, no problem.
If you'd like, I can read it in Reikens' voice.
Well, that's creepy. No.
No. This Dragonborn just like, no.
Yeah.
I can read it in...
Like with distaste, like, no.
No.
Squints his eyes. Scales like retract. His teeth come up a little bit. No.
But
Just
since
like,
you have it, there you go, guy.
yeah, there we go, guy.
Gary Gygax.
Yeah.
That was out in the middle of
Where the
I mean,
fudge?
Yeah.
nowhere.
It's relevant. We're playing.
Yeah.
Fudge right here. Fudge 11 craze right here.
You
Oh, yeah, fudge.
Fudge. Not to sell it, but
want fudge?
On fudge.
Fudge.
So,
Eat fudge.
Give the last one to Andy.
Last one's yours.
um,
No. Last one's yours.
I'll eat it later.
Fudge!
Do not forget the reason we didn't have fudge last time is
So you seal it up, close everything the way it was, put it back basically as close as you can to the way you left it, and you all leave the temple together.
I'm gonna try to write down the tablet.
Um,
Try to copy it as best I can.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot of writing there, so it's going to take you like half a day. This is a massive piece of stone.
And
This
it's
room.
a foreign language.
Yeah, and it's a foreign language that you're not familiar with writing as well.
What else can you do the rest of the day?
Remember how you said you needed time to read that letter?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have it.
No, it's up. As we find out, we got there just a day late. His friend's dead.
Like a half a day late.
Yeah, it was a half a day late.
It's specific.
I was really shocked.
Man, if you guys were here 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, if you were here 5 minutes earlier, the blood ritual sacrifice wouldn't have gone through.
Crazy.
In that case, he would be alive.
You guys get there. Some
You know what you could do besides imposing just terrible bad luck and
missed
ill
it.
comings upon me? You could grab a quill and paper and help me write.
Fashionably late as always, Theolin, will be her last parting words.
Phelan just gently closes his book and looks at you and just goes, "Fuck you."
Hey, fuckface.
Hey, you know what? We made time for what's important to us, Dylan.
And you know what? If this ever comes in handy, we need these words to save the world, I'm going to laugh at you and say you burned it to the ground.
No, you're the one that prioritizes your own selfish needs of saving your friend in front of the world.
As he empties the
No judgment.
revolvers.
Do what you want, man. I'm just here to protect you from werewolves.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Totally legit and true. I'm here to protect you from werewolves.
Okay, well, now I don't have to feel bad if I fail. So, I still get my cut. Still get my... Well, you're dead. Still get my cut.
No! I have your cut and I say no.
Yes,
Hurt
your banker is dead.
I'm gonna spend the first like 20 or 30 minutes writing out at least the first couple of lines.
You can spend half the day doing it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of text.
Well, I'm going to put it all down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it all down.
It's double-sided.
I'm just
So
waiting for
it's
you to
like-
break it.
So you help me move the tablet. It's double-sided.
Or you just move around it.
Yeah.
It's big. Like,
But it is on a pedestal in the center.
Wouldn't it be easier to move your
Remember how I
body
said?
instead of moving?
Remember how you said you wanted to walk over to the wall on the other side of it, and you touched the symbol of Taiki? I remember.
I didn't. All right, I walked to the other side of the tablets.
Pepperidge Farm, remember?
Pepperidge Farm.
wait a minute, how is that
But
possible?
Pepperidge Farm ain't gonna keep this to Pepperidge Farm self. Pepperidge Farm's gonna put it all over the internet. Shame you.
How can it be the center if Theolin's the center?
I'm a
Well, to be fair, he didn't use his sword to designate that.
Someone's
hilarious.
You know how he told us to get clips of like our favorite moments from the stream? Like, this is gonna be a tough one tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, make some clips, y'all. There's some good stuff here. There's some zingers. Alright, so yeah, you write down as much of it as well as you can, copying the text as precisely as you possibly can, with a deft hand used to writing in multiple languages. You committed as much as to memory as you possibly can, but you don't have time to try to in doing so, you don't have time to make any kind of a cipher for a language where you can identify repeating symbols, and you're not really even sure what you're looking at particularly anyways. You don't know if it's letters or like hieroglyphics or symbols that are meant to represent ideas. As a matter of fact, you just have no idea what the divine language is. Other than the gods speak to each other, and that's it. Like, people do not, God do not speak to mortals using this language.
I don't know if that'll work, but he's given me an idea. Thank you.
So, is it time to leave Greencrest?
Yeah, I mean, during the other half of the day, we would all like
Gather your
pack up,
belongings, horses, everything.
pack up provisions, fresh ones for the trip.
Yeah.
We all have horses. Solus, did you come in on a horse or?
He came in like a wrecking ball.
So you, yeah. So you came in. So you came in.
Oh
on
my
a
god,
little
we're so
pony?
predictable.
Came in on a little pony.
Little pony?
Yeah.
Little
No,
pony?
you walked.
Oh, I thought I had a
You
horse. Yeah.
No, you walked to Greencrest from Breathorb.
Yeah. It's a good stride.
Did you want a horse?
Mine's free.
Oh my god.
It's also just a wee bit, honestly, too big for you as a dwarf, really.
Do you want?
Kind of like look at the horses.
Ooh.
You could have a smaller one if that helps.
And take me feet off the ground? That sounds awful.
You're not walking there. Sorry, I slipped
Yeah,
in the
that's true. I mean, you could. But
And he looks down at Matt.
Wait. Me has an idea. Is there a wagon?
I'm all 1, 2.
We could get a wagon.
500. I was like, yeah, 500. Yeah, no, you're not walking there.
Well, it's even
500 leagues. It's even farther because you have to
legs.
walk twice as far.
Can I purchase a wagon?
A wagon?
And like a little cart
Of
or
course,
something?
of course you
strap it
can.
to
There's a wagoneer in town and that sells carriages and stuff. So you could, if you really wanted to, you'd have to have a horse appropriate size for carrying it.
No, I want like a child's wagon, like sandbox size.
You mean like a red wagon?
Yeah.
You're gonna make Theolin pull you all the way to the Shattered Coast.
I'm being dead serious here.
I
want
know
like
you
a
are.
Just see you with your feet stretched out on the wagon. Faster! Can't go any faster, you're gonna fall out. Go faster!
His beard waving in the wind.
He's like, it's a really interesting sensation if you raise your arms as you go downhill.
That's fun.
Over there, yeah.
I mean, you could, yeah. There's really nothing stopping you from doing it.
I would like to purchase
The
that.
real question
I love
is
how you
whether
say
or
it
not-
like you don't
the
want to
real-
encourage it. There's nothing stopping you.
Well,
I guess
really,
if you do
it's
it.
up to the party. It's like, you know, how you can get it, but like, it's like, do they want to pull you along the way? Because you're putting the burden on the rest of the
I
people
would
in
like.
the party.
I look at you and go, no, but we're gonna get a regular sized wagon, and we have 2 horses. You can use my horse, and we'll use Reikens' horse. We'll get a carriage.
You're still making horses pull things.
Doggo.
You're either in the carriage or you're walking.
Okay.
And then it comes to
You
like,
just
do you
had an
guys want to
idea.
take a wagon? Because it's not really necessary to take everything that you have with you. The bag of holding accounts for almost all the space you could need. Your guys' packs and horses and saddles have been more than enough up to this point.
You know, his
Wagons are loud, they're noisy, they take up room on the road.
his little wagon actually has some merit. It's easy to hide. We could probably just shove it in someone's backpack when we're not using it.
I'll give you a choice. You can either ride your horse, or I pull the bag holding. You can get in here.
Me has heard horrible stories about getting in there. Me heard about the cow that suffocated in that. It's terrible.
I wonder.
The old one about the farmer that misplaced his bag of holding, changed it out for a cud.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then he trades it.
Yeah.
He trades it in town.
Like
Thinks
a
nothing's
little
in
baby
it.
kangaroo.
And the guy
Like a little
pulls out
dog
full
pouch,
cow.
yeah,
Dead.
The
Yeah,
carrying
don't they have like warnings on those things? Keep him away from
no.
children.
Yes,
There's no air in there.
We're gonna keep his head out. He'll be a pocket dwarf.
He doesn't think it works that way.
Well,
Does it
have
work
you
that
tried?
It doesn't
No.
work that way.
No.
No.
Well, then that means we should try.
What if it tries to close
You get
itself
from
and
the
his
back-
head
The,
is
the,
on
I
the
can
magic
ride
of
the
the bag.
horse.
The magic of the bag works on intent. Going in means if the object is going in. Coming out means the object comes out.
There's no houses.
Yeah, there's no halvesies.
Let me
It
get
works
the
on
bloody
intent.
horse.
Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere.
The horse is
When
large.
you pull out an
You'll fall
item,
off.
just like if you tip
Ouch.
it over, there's an extra dimensional force that basically of magic that makes sure that
Oh,
it comes out. So it's the same if you're trying to
I
come
was
out
gonna
or
say
go in.
extra dimensional warning
Get
label.
Sony.
You can have my horse. It's smaller. Reikens was one of the bigger ones.
You guys could just buy a smaller horse.
You could get a pony.
buy
I
a
will
pony.
listen to the
He
mystical
could get a
crow.
pony,
I know,
or he
you
could
could
get like
Donkey.
a large goat.
Would
Or mountain goats.
like a mountain goat?
A boar.
Do they sell those in Greencrest?
Hey, my.
We're gonna attempt to find a steed.
That's
for
what
this
shield
man.
dwarves use for traveling up in the mountains.
We're gonna attempt to find this man a steed.
That would be okay, but many things in Reikens' memory, we'd spend less money.
Horses are cheap.
No way. Yeah, they're
Are
cheap
they? I
compared
don't
to
know.
how much gold you have.
Let's see if anyone's got a goat or a battle dog or a small horse.
Battle dog. What, you want me riding a
Mastiff,
chihuahua?
you mean?
Mastiff, thank you.
I think he's too big for a mastiff.
I think it's
Yeah,
Big,
because I'm a
you
medium.
have to be small.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, never mind.
Well, not only that, but he's wearing armor too. He's fucking heavy.
This is a very strong.
Mastiffs are
mastiff.
big dogs, but they're not that
It's a
big.
magically juiced up mastiff.
Yeah, those cost extra. Good luck with that.
No dire mastiffs here.
Yeah, dire. Is that a dire chihuahua? You're like, so it's a regular dog.
Oh no.
It's got multi-ankle bite.
Oh no.
All right, mounts. Let's go pimp his ride.
You ask around town, and you do find some.
And
There are
sprinkle
some
sugar
There
on
are some sheep and goat farmers that live up closer to the edge of the exit, the pass, coming into the Central Vale. So you can find it there. You also ask around and find that there are a few ponies for sale, some additional horses. So kind of your choice, like what style of ride you want, honestly.
There you go, mate.
Oh,
That book just kind of came out of nowhere.
So you got the pony,
Mm-hmm.
you got the donkey.
I heard writing Yantees is fun.
You're dead. Shh.
You hear that from hell.
Even Reikens Hell's like dying.
Thank you for your service, Oak Tree.
Okay. Me will get on the goat or the sheep or whatever, you know. But
Thank you for your service.
No one pockets a dwarf.
we would really, you know, just prefer like a small wagon. You know, it's only as wide as the horse itself.
I would have getting him.
Just give
Sorry,
him,
guys.
just give
Oh
him
my
a
god, if
cart.
we don't get this sorted out, I'm just gonna strap him to a horse.
Just
Can my feet drag?
I go buy a
No.
goddamn pony.
You're small.
Small pony.
Medium pony.
Medium
Well,
pony.
I
With
mean,
braids
I
in
guess-
its hair.
A
I
pony
go
large enough
find-
to carry one medium-sized creature.
I
Yeah,
find
that's-
a pony that comes from Brovia that has swatted.
That's an inside joke. We have we joke about Brovia. It's an inside joke.
Squat and be knighted, bro.
Squat benighted bro.
Stay on the path, bro.
If you go off the path, that's cardio, bro, and that kills the gains.
Here we go again. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go again.
Masculinity.
Firepower.
Oh, you
My authority sent you to go work in the way mines, bro.
Oh yeah, the way mine.
The way mines, bro. You don't want to work there, bro.
I think it would be great to see Solas in a wagon.
In a wagon?
The paddy wagon.
Using out of game knowledge, no.
How about this?
Just let him have his wagon,
No,
man.
no, no. How about, as a group leader, what if we have, like a settlement here? What if we get the pony, but it pulls your little red wagon?
Deal.
So,
Who's gonna? So we're gonna have the pony pulling red wagon that's being tied off to a horse.
see the pony, all right, it's going to be pulling the little red wagon, and then Solos will have the reins for the pony.
In the
little-
wagon.
In the wagon.
So what you're doing is you're making a micro.
Micro
Wagon.
wagon. We're making a
You're making a micro
wagon.
carriage.
Micro
You're
carriage.
making a small chariot.
Yes. Without paying for a full chariot.
Because we're not putting.
A really terrible chariot.
So you find a small pony, this small white pony with like gray patches and spots on its hindquarters, and its name is Duncan. And
Duncan!
Dunkin'
it
Donuts.
loves apples. So
Duncan,
Duncan
the pony that
apples.
loves apples.
Duncan apple.
Oh, that's why it goes Dunkin' for apples. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
use a white pony with like gray spots. Or whatever.
Impress
Yeah,
all
on
the
the
lady
hindquarters.
ponies with your apple Dunkin' skills.
cat eye.
Can't trust a cat.
It's almost like in the style of like it's like a very very miniature like Clydesdale basically.
Cool. Awesome.
Clydesdale with dwarves.
It's a mini horse.
Not
So-
a mini whore. Mini horse.
Yes.
Okay.
On the bright side, they do not have the genetic allergy to mayonnaise or tartar sauce. Tartar sauce.
It's not tartar.
Mayonnaise, highly dangerous for miniature ponies. Tartar sauce, safe. Weird.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds
Okay, no,
nasty.
it's not tartar
Yeah.
sauce now. Now it's
But
apple.
All I
apple
need to
sauce.
know is it gluten free?
I don't even know what gluten is, man. It's like electrolytes. That's what the body craves.
Electrolytes are salt. And gluten is wheat protein.
Oh, well, you need that to get swole, so no.
Duck the dog.
Jar Jar sauce.
Alright,
So
you
we
have
so we buy that horse.
Yes, you buy it.
Yeah.
30 gold. 30 gold.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
in a wagon.
And a wagon. He throws in the wagon for free. Why not?
Oh, dude, the little red wagon.
Well, it's not red. You have to paint it yourself, but it's a little
well,
wagon.
it's fine right now.
Yeah.
How much does the paint cost? That's where they get you.
30 gold for that, and then can
I
go,
hate you. I hate you so much sometimes.
Before we leave, can I go to the general store and purchase
That was
Two
so
or
hard
three
not to
things.
laugh.
You guys can hand wave shop whatever you want out of the general store. That's a general rule that we. If it comes out of the player's handbook, out of like a general store, you can just shop it away and make the proper reductions from your gold costs and
perfect?
stuff.
Then I'm absolutely going to do what
As
I was
long
thinking about doing.
as it falls within the realm of reason.
Yeah.
I don't want you buying 30 fucking 10-pound sacks of grain and being like, "Well, you said gonna hand wave
No,
shopping."
it's okay.
You know?
Well,
I bought the
Looney
granary
always-
out. Yeah, I bought the granary out. And I'm just carrying it in my little wagon.
Looney always hand waves shopping.
Yeah.
Hand waves, difference.
And she's allowed to basically take whatever she wants from wherever she wants.
Then
Let's be real. I'd have to set the DC like at impossible to land on purpose, and I might as well just tell her she can't if that's going to be that high.
So then, hand wave shopping and all, I will purchase a chair, a spade, and fill my wagon with dirt and strap my chair to the wagon and have my own chariot.
Do you imagine that dwarves have some sort of phobia about like their feet leaving the ground or something?
No, I just like
Or
the
just
idea.
you?
I swear I'm gonna learn the levitate spell, and it's all gonna be hilarious.
No. Either way.
You will
You're gonna-
fly.
You're gonna be sleeping. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, so you guys settle all any remaining matters that you need to settle. Take care of that, like in your inventory if you need to refresh rations, foods, anything like that.
Food. Yes.
It's going to take about 16 days to cross the pass and get through the Greyspire Mountains.
Dice.
Slowing down in certain places because the path is rough, and there are also things like landslides to take account of, and also things like bandits and monsters who like to ambush on the path because they know that it's a very fruitful endeavor to camp there along this trade route, since it's the only pass across the mountains for hundreds of miles north or south until you get to Rowanheim.
Will be
So-
coming down the mountain when she comes.
Is there anything else that you guys needed to take care of real quick? Anything?
Mm-mm. No.
So, as you gather everything together, at the Dusty Dog, people in the town, in the trade square, more or less people that you recognize and have met, come out to see you off to leave Greencrest, leave it in the past. As you start heading towards the Greyspire Mountains, you take a quick glance, look behind you, and you see a man on the ladder take down the sign of the Dusty Dog and put up a new one.
What's that sign?
That was the-
You don't see it?
Too far away.
He takes it down, hands it to the man below him, and you just see him hang up a new sign on the rack above the door.
Shit, can I turn around and go to the guy that has the sign?
No.
I want to keep that.
And you pass by the Blue Fairy, and Tilly and a few of the bouncers wave, nod their respects as you close this chapter on your adventure and head to the Shattered Coast, back to civilization, lands you're familiar with, most of you. Back to the large cities and the spanning West Dales on the opposite side of the pass. And it's hundreds of small dotted hamlets and villages that make up more or less the edge of regulated kingdom realms. Wondering what lies ahead of you, what you will encounter, wondering if Casey is alive, where she has gone. Not sure. Could Veracruz have people waiting for you in the pass? Will you always be looking over your shoulders? Knowing full well that somebody is after you, Lumi, somebody from your past is trying to find you, possibly kill you. Knowing still that the werewolves are hunting you, you assume waiting for some opportune moment which they could take advantage of you at your weakest possible strength. Knowing that there's lots of work on the Shattered Coast. Curses, unresting souls, vampires, werewolves. The wild frontier of the Meridian Expanse in the Central Vale is filled with orcs and goblins, hobgoblins, and dangerous creatures. Civilization is no less threatened and endangered on all sides by the very same creatures, staying close to places where they can easily find shelter and find victims. The Blood Hunters always have work on the Shattered Coast. So, traveling regularly, a few nights stopping and days of travel, you come across, late in the evening, a small camp. Modest, with a small fire, out of the way, hidden behind the shelter of trees and rocks and an alcove, with loose shuttle coming up a steep slope. Above you, a tree, barely hanging on with the roots, hangs wide towards the top of the pass. You've stopped here before. This is a common safe space or safe haven for travelers, especially lone travelers, without the numbers or people for protection, mutual protection, coming through the pass. As you approach, you hail the campfire and receive a welcome greeting to join the fire. And there you see, dressed in garbs and a cloak, black with red trim, a tiefling. Just sitting and reminiscing, and openly welcomes you to partake in his space and make camp for the night. None of you really recognize the emblems, the symbology. Wears a strange triangular amulet around his neck with 3 crossed scimitars on it. There's also some strange arcane runes on the cloak. You recognize some of them as enchantments and protections against fiends. Not completely unusual, but definitely strange here in these parts. But Solas, you're immediately worried, tense. As you recognize the heraldry, you recognize who this person is and what it means. This individual hails from near your homeland, in the ancient spanning birthplace of tieflings, in the catastrophic magical mistake made thousands of years ago. The birthplace of all tieflings and their infernal pacts with the devils of Beator. You recognize the Zemirin, the tiefling. And you know that this society is built and founded on the suffering and pain of slaves, hundreds of thousands imported, beaten cruelly and mistreated, in a state where only those who can wield magic sit at the top of the hierarchy, shrouded in mystery and deep, deep lost and even coveted lore by others from across the realm. A nation that wars ceaselessly, endlessly with Anoth for control of the territories across the Restless Sea in the Shamara Desert. In the ruins, the leftover ruins and heritage of the Asturian Empire in its early reigns. Those lands that once stretched from Anoth to Al-Qadar to the Ludo tribes of the next continent. They're dangerous people. As you approach camp,
You're welcome at my fire. I had a good luck at the hunt today. There's extra food.
What you hunt?
A couple of rabbits, mostly. So, before you is a pretty classic tiefling. Crimson skin, totally black eyes with blood red iris. Black horns that kind of flare red at the ridges and are swept back close to the head. Black hair pulled into a tight, kind of really short ponytail in the back. He's wearing all black studded leather armor and a black and red trimmed cloak over that. He has laying next to him a longbow, black, almost ebony wood with a silver inlay in a kind of almost floral design up and down it. Arrows that, it's just jammed with all kinds of different sort of arrows in his quiver. There's a sword next to that. His weapons are all out and in the open, but he's not armed currently. His teeth are sharp, all of them. Nothing, no large canines or anything, just sharp rows of teeth. And he stands to look at you all, inviting you to his fire. He's good. Other than that, he's classic tiefling. Devil's tail with the
What kind of horns?
spade. The horns are from the brow,
Mm-hmm.
swept back, and just get thinner.
Oh,
And,
slip back.
Yeah, they're swept back. They kind of come up at the back, but they come together a bit too. But they're pretty close to the head.
Well, thank you very much for the offer.
I'm not much of a cook, but it's warm and there's meat, so help yourselves. I don't know if it will go 6 ways, but maybe if you're friendly.
Well, I'll sit down. There's 5 of us and 1 of him, so I'm not really worried about it.
That's fair. I don't want any trouble, if that's what you're implying.
No. Sorry, he's a bit abrasive. We apologize for him. He's a gruff individual. We apologize.
Look at me, friend. I'm used to getting a little bit of gruffness.
It's the hair.
No, it's not the hair. It's the
Excuse
horns.
you.
The cats are always friendly until they're not. It's good to meet you.
My name is Theolin Ryan Throna. It is a pleasure.
People call me Voss.
Voss?
V-A-S-S. Voss.
Voss.
What do other people call you?
Well, everyone calls me Voss. I suppose my father would probably call me Wasai Sahar Al-Voss.
How would you spell that?
Fair question.
We can get over that later.
So the Tabaxi lays into him immediately. Interrogation.
While she does this, I want to grab Alfarius and kind of pull him aside.
It's gonna be hard because I'm actually on a horse.
Oh no! Well then I want to come over to you. I'll be like tugging on your leg, like, hey.
Oh, yeah, I
But
guess...
you just use your hands like fucking paddles and you just like pull yourself in the door.
Like, get out of the
wagon! Oh, of course.
So, like...
It's not like riding in a tiny red wagon is ridiculous.
Wait, actually, yes. You see this dwarf being pulled along by a pony in a red wagon on a chair with dirt.
That's odd, but, you know, I'm a tiefling. I've seen things.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
No, but I did forget to mention my horse is hitched to a tree nearby. Just a pure white, damn fine looking horse.
Oh, so it's not a demon horse then?
No.
Okay.
It's not a horse that's going to slow, right?
So where are you going to tell me that's going?
Yeah, eventually. I gotta find it.
now.
I'm going to take his offer and help myself, because if there's not enough to go around, I'm getting some.
The Goliath's getting in there.
Yeah, so you guys are going to...
Yeah, I get off my horse.
Okay, I kind of...
I hitch it to your little red wagon.
Good. Perfect.
It's really come in handy, you know that?
I mean, it's mostly just like grease and meat.
Yeah, for hitching the horses.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can put my feet right in the middle of it as I take out some grain and I throw it right where your seat is and the horse can just eat out of it. Yeah, this is perfect.
Multiple uses.
Yeah, exactly.
On a more serious note,
What? I know. Fucking Hargraves is eating everything.
that's not me concern. Have you heard of Zamarit?
Zamarit.
Zamir.
Zamir.
Oh, Zamir.
Oh, my mistake.
Zamir.
Zamir is...
I don't know. Maybe in passing, but, what do I care?
Well, it's a
You gotta concentrate in the now.
Actually, you might be familiar because it's in close proximity to Emrath. In close proximity, I mean, it's across the Dragon's Maw, which is the wide, basically almost giant sea that splits the continents and opens up to the Restless Sea in the center of the continent. You probably would be familiar just because of the politics of the region. But personal interaction with them, the Zemirians keep to themselves and they maintain like an isolationist closed borders policy to most outsiders.
Would they be more into like slave taking and like?
Oh, they are
pirating?
for sure.
Like, along
Their
with
entire
us?
kingdom or
it's more of a covenant. Covenant, but
Like Sabrina?
matriarchy, basically.
Like
Yeah.
Sabrina.
So, it's built on slaves so that the tieflings can live lazy,
They're devils.
fulfilling.
Of course they would.
Oh.
But they don't worship that way outwardly. So you know that much. They cut their ties with Beator after the catastrophe, as they call it. So you know enough about them to know that they don't get along with enough because they're always vying for power and they're always like fighting this war against one another, and you know enough to know that it's the birthplace of tieflings. It's where they come from originally. You would also be aware of the fact that red tieflings are considered especially powerful because they trace their lineage directly to the greater devils, archdevils of Beator. So they hold a specifically higher regard for themselves and most of the ruling class shares that bloodline, that blood tie, that infernal heritage. So you know that much, but aside from that, you've never had any real interactions with Zemarians. Because if you would have, it would be fighting, because they would have been raiding caravans, trade caravans, merchants for easy slaves, and that's a no-go with
Coastal
the
regions.
Republic of Emrath. Yeah. A Republic outlawed slavery, like at the outset, so that's a no-go for you.
So I know of them. Yeah.
He wears symbols of Zemir.
I eyeball them.
I do.
Well, you just see me with the notebook trying to write his name down.
Yeah, he does.
WASSIAI.
I mean, we're pretty far from there for him to try anything.
No, I just we figured we'd bring it to the at least the leader of the group and follow your lead before we did anything rash.
Well, as a paladin of Taylor, you know, I have to follow the tenets anyways, of forgiveness.
Right, and as one who recognizes Taylor and is also by your guidance attempting to be a little bit more right in her eyes, we will follow that.
Let's give him an open chance. I was in the Orc Wars, but I don't hold that grudge against every Orc.
By the way,
That's a grudge that'll be a little bit harder for me.
I am wearing my Anoth armor.
So you are. Thank you
I thought
for
you had that
reminding
removed.
No, Mike wanted to have it removed,
me. We never
But
got
then-
but
around
he
to
never
it.
got around to it.
But then it was
I'm pretty
never
sure he
his.
did. Yeah, because I'm wearing it right now.
You're wearing it. I thought I was wearing it.
You're wearing the magical armor.
Yeah, I thought they were the same thing.
No, the Anoth armor was the non-magical armor. The other
Yes.
armor was the magical armor.
Oh, I thought my magic one.
I remember.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah,
no,
because
no, yours has the pinnacle on it.
Mm.
Yours has the image of Crom
Oh,
on the chest
Okay.
plate. Yeah.
I was getting those two times.
it's
My bad. So I am wearing Crom armor. So if we got beef,
Crom,
Just throwing it out there.
for people who don't know, Crom is the patron deity of giant kind. So it's only befitting that it landed on the Goliath.
and actually because I got my armor refitted and I finally decided what it looks like since I took off a Noth and now there's the symbol of Tyche. In one side of the breastplate, it's a woman on one left side of the breastplate, and she seems to have almost like an evil, like not evil, but like a
Mischievous.
look to her face.
We went over these things the other night.
Thank you. Mischievous on the left side. On the right side, it's the same woman, but in the reverse.
Correct,
She's happy and almost excited.
Oh.
And you actually
Beguiling.
recognize these faces as what's on my coin.
I sent you a thing.
I don't want it.
Okay, well, I sent it.
Can I ask an open question to the table?
Yeah.
I forgot about
Do
it.
you have symbols of Emrath on you at all?
Did you,
or
uh,
is it
did you
just
take that spell?
religious?
Yeah.
Just religious.
Okay.
Just religious?
Yeah, I've got just religious symbols all over
And
me.
then just religious?
Yes, just religious symbols.
Oh, okay.
Cake pop.
Shamar doesn't.
Where was this
have any
question leading
symbols.
to? Because now you piqued my interest.
Because he actually has symbols that tie him to a place.
Yeah.
So I was curious if anyone else had symbols that tie them to a place.
No.
I mean,
Just
Or
tie me to my
just a
face.
fate. I was just
I'm just a tabaxi.
curious.
I mean, I'm a giant red dragon. Kind of ties me to a place.
I guess.
Uh,
I guess that's true.
Tabaxi.
I got it. I'm a bard. I wander.
Specifically, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dragonborn live all over the Shattered
Now,
Coast.
hold on, we don't count
But-
the others.
Yeah.
count the others.
How do you differentiate yourself?
He differentiates himself because true chromatic colors are extremely rare. A lot of times, Dragonborn fit in that spectrum between like a copperish, dull brown to like golds
Yeah.
and like yellowishes and stuff. And and some of them are like duller colors, but having like a true chromatic heritage, like flat green, red, black, blue, silver, gold, really rare.
And generally restricted to
Comparatively.
comparatively.
Okay. Now you guys have actually come across a few, like the ones who were with Valis, because he was gold Dragonborn. Blue. He was blue Dragonborn. Ildrix was blue. Dylan's aware of this. Dragons of pure draconic heritage like that often find themselves doing better in society.
Oh, kind of like beautiful people.
Yeah, basically.
By comparison.
Yeah.
It's in the breath weapon.
Yeah.
It's all in the breath weapon.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you have true chromatic heritage, you're viewed a little bit differently than the next dragonborn, basically.
Gotcha.
So
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt her.
Which is what makes it so weird that he was left in an orphanage. But I was picked up.
Yeah.
But I was adopted.
yeah. Gee, wonder why.
Because you were beautiful, you weren't
Quick.
one of them ugly babies.
Yeah, unlike the other ones that weren't adopted.
Take that, unadopted dragonborn.
Yeah, take that, other dragon boy.
Talk about fucking punching down, dude. They're kids, Dylan, you sick bastard.
Oh, I was a kid. Now I got parents.
I know, right?
And a clan.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, that's big in Dragonborn society.
Yeah, he was fully grown when human kids are like fucking 12. He's like, yeah, I'm a citizen now.
I can vote and drink.
I don't do this shit anymore. I'm out.
Yeah. So, continue. Now that exposition's out of the way.
Alright, well, me will follow your lead on this one.
Yeah, we just won't shoot him or anything right away.
We didn't have plans to shoot him.
I don't know. I mean, you're kind of uptight about some stuff.
It's me law. It's me tenants.
Keep him in check. I go over to greet the stranger.
So why are you here?
I was on my way to Greencrest, actually.
It's a boring place. You should go where we go.
We're actually coming from Greencrest.
Really?
Yeah, actually.
Oh.
What brings you to Greencrest, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm looking for another tiefling, actually. I heard she was this way.
What's her name?
Oh, gods love us, I'm just saying. Would her name happen to be, Emirette?
Is she a girlfriend?
Oh, how to...
No.
Your character doesn't go in that.
We've never actually met. She's...
That's true.
I know. I can't get away from it. It's...
That's
No.
just your thing, Matt, as a player.
You know, it must be.
we ran into her once or twice.
ED and girlfriend. We'll wait for the other thing to make an appearance.
Those horns are compensating for something, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Sort of like your broad shoulders.
Anyway, no, I've never actually met her. She's just kind of infamous where I'm from.
Oh, well, we've run into her once or twice in the city of Greencrest, though. To our understanding, she's left.
Well, at least I didn't have to get all the way there to find out.
Good we happened by you. Saves you some time.
That is good. I heard there was some trouble this way.
Yeah, there was. A whole undead army, evil army arose.
Really?
What? I
Really?
hadn't got to it. I haven't got to it yet, alright?
Really?
As I pull out my book, so,
Oh my god.
what happened is
I think I know what's about to happen.
What happened is we're going to sit down for a nice dinner.
I will be the dinner's entertainment. So,
Okay.
Now hold on.
don't you take this from me.
Now hold on. I remember the last time you told this story.
I painted everyone in a beautiful light.
Now hold on. You pretty much drove Hargrave away.
But he always wants to run away.
Had to pay him to stick around.
I just fired him, you're fine.
And then I had to rehire him. What? He protects me now, by the way.
This is news to you, Hargrave, because you have a mouthful of gamey, like, rabbit.
I'm better off.
No, but I'll keep it slim. I won't waste all your time. An evil... What the hell was she?
Don't make it sound too crazy.
Look, I heard part of the story. I heard that there was some necromancer raised an army and attacked the city, and it was fought off.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that's
there you go.
basically the gist of it. You're just missing the part where the Guardians of the Veil went in and defeated her and saved the city.
Never heard of them.
See, the fact that you're smiling leads me to believe otherwise.
Might have been known.
No,
as...
that's not a character. That's just me being an asshole.
And smiling because he knows he is.
Oh, well, the Guardians of the Veil were the heroes of the moment. They actually were able to sneak into the tower and kill the necromancer and save the town.
Well, that sounds daring.
They were quite heroic.
Everybody would play the College of Swords if they understood how powerful it was. They would not play any other bard, believe me. Other than the experience of playing something different.
Though I will say that if you want to use other spells, which I definitely want to, the lore is probably the next best. I'd say if you're going for pure support with explosions, lore is pretty cool. Yes, they were quite famous.
Maybe in the Veil.
That's what they call the Guardians of the Veil.
Makes sense.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's straightforward. You get it.
Oh, by the way, we're the Guardians of the Veil.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
He never misses an opportunity to gloat. Ignore him.
It's
the half-elf part.
I would like to remind you.
You have encountered brief descriptions from people who crossed of them, so you.
Well, yeah.
You had a sneaking suspicion when they came to the fire.
You got quoted.
I would like to remind you that we have.
That's a great quote. I love that quote.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good
quote. Yes.
I would like to remind you
Appropriate
that
use of
as
the quote system.
pervasive and influential our name is becoming, we also do have enemies.
Of course. And I looked at this gentleman, and I perceived him as a good gentleman to discuss and talk to.
Anyone you perceive at all is a good gentleman to talk to.
Well,
This is why you keep getting into altercations.
I believe I'm not the one that has made multiple enemies.
Your blood hunter is correct. You shouldn't have trusted me.
Unlimited power.
And then I use thaumaturgy to make the fire go really big and bright. Ah!
You see Pale and Brett up. Yes! A man of culture! Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate
My
you.
paws
No,
were
but
getting
really, welcome to my fire. I'm bored out here.
Are we-
You think I'd be better at preparing the game, though? I've been on the road for so goddamn long.
Does its job. Fills my tummy.
Sometimes the bird gets at it before I do.
Yeah, we've been telling pretty much
Speaking of,
every traveler we. What was that?
I just whistle, and then out of one of the trees, a hawk comes down, lands on the log.
I'm like, no.
I
Haunch is lowered, tail up, eyes wide.
What's his name?
He's not really real, so I don't name him.
Wait, how is he not real as I go to touch him?
I mean, he's real, but not.
I do that thing where people do the cats, and their backs kind of slouch down.
So you're being hyperly aggressive with this thing.
Yes.
Okay.
It is real. Why is it not real?
Well,
Magic.
magic. Yeah. It's a familiar. It's conjured from
Oh, okay.
nothingness. But he makes a good companion and good eyes. I actually saw you all coming for a while.
Yeah, so upon getting closer to him and really seeing eye to eye, you notice the components pouch and general items associated with arcane lore and such. Maybe possibly he's a wizard, you're not sure, but could be.
Are you a sorcerer?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I mean, sort of. It's complicated.
So if me and you were to fight, what would you fight me with?
Well, up close like this, I'd probably just run. But
I can catch you.
you're probably right. The
You-
cats are
actually,
fast.
you know she's right. You're like, yeah, I can't outrun a tabaxi on foot.
Well, then I would do my best to keep my distance
Clippy clop with that.
and
Dude, I'm like,
fill you with arrows.
I may be going through
Mostly.
old quotes right now because I'm reliving glory days.
I know. I noticed your arrows are colorful and different. Do they have special traits? Like, do you name them?
No, not really. I just I just make my own arrows, so different birds, different fletching.
Lummy, could you just not interrogate the man for once?
So what's your birthday? my birthday is in the winter solace.
Her next character is a gnome. It just goes right into it, honestly. It's like a lateral transfer in role-playing. Tabaxi?
I'll start hitting the red cap.
That's a good one.
It's this date on a day of a month.
Yeah, there you go.
Good to know.
Canon.
Of a season.
Of a season.
Why is that relevant?
Oh, I like to know everything about everything and stuff when I'm not.
So at some point I just need to ignore you, is what you're saying.
No, it's
okay.
just getting to know each other. Like for me, I used to be in a jungle.
Chulesh, right?
Yeah, and I have a brother,
Right.
and I have a sister,
You're born
So
in
and I
Letters
have a
something
mom and
about
dad,
this.
Yes,
No.
everyone
and
does.
we run a little shop in Chulish.
Great.
And I like to take things.
My parents own a shop.
Oh, really? What's the name of the shop?
It's not really a shop. It's more of a. You know what? I don't want to talk about all that.
You know, I think the
It's
rest
a
of
little
us.
intimate. How are you doing this to me? Please, just eat. I made extra food. I saw you all coming. Just have some.
Are you uncomfortable around me?
You're making it difficult. Yeah,
It's just getting to know each other. You were so welcoming. I'm welcoming back.
I understand, but you know.
I just lost a friend, so
Limits.
I kind of need this.
All right. Well, don't you have 4 other friends?
You would see the rest of us enjoying the moment of peace and quiet.
We're
not
just
having
sitting
to
You know, Theolins just sitting here going,
around that campfire, enjoying your food. Some of ours.
So I just kind of keep petting the bird and answer her 1,000 questions best I can. We don't have that much written yet, so you just gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Now, Lumi, did you ever hear the story about the little girl that got lost in the woods?
Who would get lost in the woods? You just have to track your paws back.
Not all little girls can track their paws back. She was lost, and all she had to guide her way was her little dolly. And there were horrible creatures tracking her through the
I'm
woods.
sorry, you just can't take Tedus.
Oh yeah, it was very much.
Bear.
It was very much like tennis. As I pull out,
Tennis?
That's the name of the teddy bear.
as I reach into my bag,
It's real close to tetanus. It's
and
just,
It sounds like a disease.
yeah. Came out of the hard case of tennis a few seasons back. Just not with us anymore.
I pull out a little, like much too small for me, makeshift doll made with hair and little bits of ribbon. I was like, this was her doll. Her name was Ducky.
It looks really scary.
Well, it's all she had, right? She
Hey,
didn't
thank you
get
for the
fancy,
follow.
nice dolls just like you.
hey!
Juan, if you don't want to hear
Welcome.
the story, I won't tell you.
Legendary Action. And
No, tell
don't
me
forget
more.
to join the Hall of Legends down below, the Discord. Keep up to date with everything that's going on. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, checking us out.
No, tell me more of the story. I am intrigued.
No, you said your dolly was way better, and so
Well,
you know what, you can
tennis.
just entertain yourself with
Tedus.
tennis.
You
So
know-
as the evening draws on, and
Yep.
and you watch the ceaseless interrogation of this new individual, this new yeah, I wouldn't say friend, but this new stranger,
Acquaintance.
acquaintance, this new stranger, begins getting late. The fire begins to get low. And then, in the middle of the conversation that she's having, you see Lumi suddenly perk and her ears turn as she stops, dead silent. As you hear a strange flapping of wings coming down.
It's that guy's owl.
She looks for a moment, looking around the sky. It's cloudy and about a quarter moon or so. And you see strange winged figures descending in a steep, fast direction onto your position. And then there's several screeches as these creatures land on your horses and begin harassing them, tearing at them with their claws, and attempting to abscond with them and tear them apart. The twisted, strange, humanoid winged figures screaming out as they attempt to kill your animals, your horses.
I jump. Climb
As
to-
you leap to your own defense and the defense of your forms of transportation to fight off this group of harpies that have descended on you from the mountaintops. Next Friday.
Harpies! Sing harpies every time!
Not Duncan, I need him to pull my wagon!
Not Duncan! Here's the little one!
Circle the wagons, boy!
Protect
Circle
Duncan!
the wagon! It looks like Blazing Saddles when he says that they weren't allowed to travel with the other wagons. So we made our own circle and just you know? I love you, Mel Brooks. Yeah, so that's it for tonight's episode of Legendary Action. Thank you everybody who followed, stopped by, dropped the bits, and hung out with us. I know that for some reason we have a habit of attracting everybody who lives on the East Coast or Central Time.
Come on.
That 3 hour time difference is killer. I got you. Or longer. We have a couple. We have two people who live in the UK, I believe, who try to tune in. But we appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate the support and hanging out. So you know, join our Discord if you're interested in talking to us. Find us on you can find all of our socials listed down below. And yeah, you can keep up to date with what's going on. So next Friday, harpy attack on the camp.
It's like possum attacks. but
Nothing's
worse.
wrong with
Yeah,
it.
it's way
We're
worse
just
than
on the
possum.
West Coast, which means we're 3 hours behind and you're 3 hours ahead, which makes it a whole not the right amount of time I just said out loud.
Well, we're center.
Yeah,
we're
it's
the
Theolins.
center.
Yeah, we're center. Everybody else is all wonky.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Theolins here, and
Yeah, we're on the right time, and then all the rest of you are just.
By the way, can I express that I feel like I wanted to put my sword in the center of the dirt in front of my new friend, and I couldn't.
Okay.
Still can.
I'm sad.
Yeah,
Still can.
Yeah,
Got real
still
opportunity.
I'm down to go. Let's fucking do this.
Could you put your sword in the center of my wagon so I know where to put my chair?
Trying to find
Is
center
there
running
dirt
here.
in that wagon?
There is.
Then yes, I can put it.
That's why I'm saying Astral. Like, we do have people who watch us from the West Coast and then Central, but like. They're not here as consistently as the people who are on the East Coast, so we really appreciate
Yeah,
the
that's
fact that it's
true.
like,
Yeah.
you know, 3 a.m.
Glad you can enjoy our early Saturday game.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
glad you could join us for our early Saturday game. Once again, Lonnie Lightning, thank you so much for the gifted subs, man, getting us closer
Yeah.
to that. We
Yeah.
are like 2 points away from earning another emote for our sub points, so we are so close. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Our
and
artist just informed me today that he is starting on working on extra emotes due to popular demand, and by demand I mean Malachi, who does it every time. We are getting a doggo emote.
yeah.
And Sasha Borks.
Oak Tree basically bought us our next emote with all the bits he's been dropping today.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
makes it
basically.
sprinkle.
Yeah, thank you so much for the
Yeah.
support, Oak Tree. We really appreciate it. I really hope that your dad can join us and drop by and hang out. And congratulations, Tibbs, on your job at Microsoft. Good job, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
thank you, Jammer. Your
You can dig
fudge
it.
was really
And Jamie, your fudge is
delicious.
really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Once again,
This is a small part of a big fudge. Big fudge family.
big fudge. Fudge is awesome. Judge Fudge.
Hello, doggo.
Sasha, come here.
Yeah, Bork, exactly. Malachi, because of you.
Mironina, thank you so much for stopping by. Late drop, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks for
we do.
the follow.
Yeah, hopefully, everybody's welcome to join us, hang out. Very open, welcoming community.
Mhm.
Lots of fun. Thank you, Seek, for dropping in even as late as you did.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. I would say I love you, but I'm over it now at this
Everyone
point.
knows.
I know you
Yeah.
see.
No,
Everyone knows.
I'm over it. I'm over you. Okay,
But to any new people in the chat, I
playing
know-
Magic the Gathering.
What you got to do is find another way more attractive follower
I know, right?
to make him jealous.
Yeah. Could be Oak Tree.
Sup?
Looking good already, man. throwing them big ol' bitties around, dude.
I get
Oh,
it.
so you
I see
only
what
like
you
them-
did there.
Yeah.
But to any of the few people that I've noticed, some people popping in saying I'm not sure exactly what's going on. If you catch us next time, which every Friday at 7:30 p.m., we generally
Pacific Standard Time.
what he said.
Our time.
We start
Center time.
We
Yeah.
start playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Real
If you
time.
don't know what that is, basically it's a role-playing game where we roll dice and take actions in a world created by our gentleman friend right here by the name of Andy.
It's controlled chaos.
It's wonderful. And if you have any extra questions about the game as you're watching, feel free to ask in chat. We have a wonderful audience that is super awesome and knowledgeable and knows a lot about us and fills us in. So thankfully, we're lucky enough to have an awesome audience and wonderful group of people that share our Hall of Legends as much as we do there. And feel free to ask. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are. We have some great members of our community. And if you don't know anything,
It's an
if you don't-
improv class with 4th grade
Yeah.
math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, very much so. And if you don't know much about D&D, I'm wondering how you
A really
found your way
solid
here.
description of it.
We're happy you're here. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, be careful. We might
Please
get
explain
you
to
hooked.
us what wayward link got you here.
Yeah.
Like, who did you
Yeah.
click on?
Yeah.
Was it some dude with lightning in his name? What do we got here?
And also, if you get on the Discord and we start talking about D&D, or you win our giveaway that's coming up, you might get hooked. It's fun. It's a good excuse to hang out with your friends too.
That is.
That's really it's
That's
basically
really
a
how-
modern poker game.
That's really how it should be.
Yeah, it is.
That's what we do. We just film it.
It's like
Yeah.
poker night.
We're hanging out, having fun, playing a game.
Yeah, 500 followers. We're doing a giveaway, guys.
The only fake
We're
part is that we're
almost
not
there.
actually friends.
We're 102 followers away from 500, where we will be doing
Yeah, we are
our
almost
giveaway. It's going to be the limited edition core rulebook set with the player's handbook, the monster manual, and the dungeon master thingy-majiggy. And they have really cool designs. Like one of them is the little guy with the eyeball. The other one's a little scary skeleton face. And I don't know what the other one is.
It's a dwarf.
Is it
Wearing
a
a
dog?
helmet.
Oh, okay. Some cool guy.
Isn't it a giant?
It might be a giant.
Yeah.
It's a fire giant.
But
You're right.
Yeah,
It's the fire giant.
we're also going to throw in some fudge of your choice. We're going
Thanks
to
to
throw
Fudge
in...
Love and Craze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to put in some dice, some 3D printed kobolds with 5 heroes, as we like to call it, and then some big monster that has like a little thing.
Every time. Umber Hulk.
Umber Hulk. Umber
Yep.
Hulk.
Oh, well, you're getting some good stuff. It's a good giveaway.
It's a
500. All you gotta
giveaway.
do is be here and be a follower the day we do the giveaway, and then you win yourself. And if you don't play already, you could find yourself hopelessly addicted and spiraling down the rabbit hole that is playing Dungeons and Dragons, like all of us have fallen into.
I did
over
that
the
to an
years.
old high school friend recently.
Yeah.
Joey Frank.
You're a bad man.
I know. He is obsessed.
The only thing worse you could do is get him into playing fucking Warhammer, right, Mike?
I just bought an entire box of Blood Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I was,
yeah,
I was
now.
saving up for that one thing you
Yeah,
wanted to
good.
buy and that other thing you
Is
wanted
this
to buy
one
that
fake?
wasn't models.
Yeah.
You know my honest answer?
Yes.
Just stick with Magic. It's cheaper.
Oh, that's funny to hear. Magic's cheaper. Oh.
Yeah. Go play Legacy. It's still cheaper.
You know what I want? I just realized from Jammer. I want little fudge D20s.
Whoa.
That's what I want. I want fudge D20s just cuz.
Why, so you can fudge these rolls?
Yeah. Exactly.
That was terrible.
I know.
That was
But you all
terrible, and I
laughed.
knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't get to it, that's what I was going to say. Dylan,
Part barred.
that spunky motherfucker, got to it first. Why are you so chipper all the time? It's disturbing. You
I'm tired. I don't know what's going on.
His character design is
You
just
sociopath? What's going on over there, dude?
What's up, Sandrop?
Hey, Sandrop, how's it going? Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. We love you. Don't leave.
Don't do what Tibbs did to us.
Don't leave me.
But with that being said, yeah, don't forget to drop if you're interested in learning about D&D. There's no better way to do than just immerse yourself in, jump in. You can find a free You can find the free rules online, the core rules, like the very basic rules for playing the game for free online to test and play. But if you want to learn more about it, just jump into the Discord and hit us up and just be like, hey, like I'm interested in what I need to buy. There's Wizards of the Coast just released a cool starter box set that has an adventure in it.
I think you can only find it at Target right
Yeah,
now.
only at Target, I think, for the time being.
Target.
But okay.
You don't shop there?
But yeah,
I
so
do.
there's lots of ways you can get into it, and it's super fun. Just make your friends play, guilt trip them if they won't. And if you have to, just tie them to a chair in the living room and force them to play. That's how I made my friends. These people don't leave this table after the cameras go off.
I'm
The-
looking
the
out to
chains
go
are
in.
starting to get a little tight. Can we?
No.
Oh.
Oh, you got chains? I'm glued to the seat, man. Like, if I move, it's just ripping skin.
It's just the seat's going with you.
No, they gave me chains.
Oh. Heavy.
I'm the lucky one. I get put in a corner and told to stream.
Stream now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Make content.
thank you for the follow. Thank you for hanging out with us. I know it's late, so we really appreciate it. And I hope your week's as legendary as our night was. So we will see you next Friday.
See y'all.
See you later. Oh, actually, we have a YouTube. Has all 39 previous episodes in it before I go. So if you want to try to catch up, run through, maybe watch the last few episodes, like 3 or 4, just to catch up on the story, you can find it on our YouTube, Legendary Action. Don't forget to drop a comment and a like so that YouTube knows it's not total garbage and it's worth showing to people. Now we're going to have a good night. So until next Friday, we'll see you later.
Guardians.